The sun set over Bozeman last night just like any other Friday, but when it rose this morning over some chilly temperatures, Montanans had just one thing on their minds. Whether you pledge allegiance to the Grizz or the Cats, the annual Brawl of the Wild is Montana's Super Bowl. And the setting for this 113th meeting, Bozeman, where the Go Cats chant rings loud and clear on every street corner. It's as good a rivalry as there is in college football, and today's edition means even more with playoff implications on the line. It's the Cats and the Grizz next on Root Sports. Big Sky Football on Root Sports is presented by your local Ford store. No Grizz fans have made their way to Bobcats country. The grills were fired up early, and the competition began hours before kickoff. The teams and fans have waited a year for the 113th showdown between number 5 Montana and 13th rated Montana State, this time from sun-drenched and snowy Bozeman. Taking a look at the standings on this final day of competition in the Big Sky Conference, Eastern Washington controlling its own destiny. You see where Montana, Southern Utah, and Montana State all share third place at 5-2. Great to have you with us, everyone. Along with Jason Stiles, I'm Tom Glasgow. So much on the line. It's always intense, but both teams desperately looking for a win today.
Well, and you got the Cats, and you got the Grizz, and you got everything that goes with rivalry football. And on the final regular season Saturday, everything is on the line for potential playoff picture.
Yeah, the playoff implications look like this. For Montana, primarily thinking about seeding. For Montana State, a win is a must. A loss, and they are out. They know that. Even with a win, they're not sure they'll get in. So they would not only like to win today, but win with some pizzazz. Let's talk about how Montana hopes to get it done today offensively. That would be first and foremost on the ground, led by Jordan Canada.
Well, and their offense is predicated on the run game. It sets up the play action. Jordan Canada has been their go-to back all year long. He stayed healthy this year. He's proved he can handle the load, over 5 yards a carry. And if they can run the ball today against the Montana State defense that has not shown they can defend it very well, they could have a very big day, Tom.
And then there's the other Jordan Johnson, one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the Big Sky Conference.
Well, he benefits from that run game, but he's also a guy with the ball in his hands that makes great decisions. Only 4 interceptions on the year. He's a guy that at the end of the game, you want the ball in his hands. He gets in that huddle, instills a lot of confidence in that offensive line. They've played some really, really tough games down the stretch. Jordan Johnson has been big in all of those.
Senior day here at Montana State, and today they will say thank you to 4 of the best this university has ever had in football, led by their outstanding quarterback, Denarius McGee.
Well, these seniors have taken the program to places it hasn't seen in a long, long time. They deserve really, really a big ending as opposed to what they've seen so far in November. They've struggled in November, but they have a chance to right the ship and get to where they planned to at the start of this season, and that's the national playoffs.
Denarius McGee, Cody Kirk, Tanner Bleskin, Brad Daly, all exceptional football players with this program. Right now, let's send it down on the field as we connect for the first time and say hello to Jen Mueller.
Well, Tom, all of those players that you just mentioned talked this week about how important a win was today. It doesn't matter what they've done in the season or even in their careers. They know it all comes down to today. The coaches we talked to this week, well, they understand the implications too. It's playoffs, but it's also just a step for their program. And for the fans, well, this game has been called the biggest sporting event of the year in Montana. And if you have any doubts about that, take a look at the front page of the Bozeman Daily Chronicle this morning. The entire front section, that is all Cat Grizz. News today, that gets moved to Section 3. You can hear the emotion from the fans in this historic rivalry game. Last year, it favored the Bobcats. Will MSU do it again? Oh, we'll find out. Kickoff just around the corner on Root Sports.
Game There's a reason.
You know what? I'll tell you something about the state of Montana. In Montana, some people don't care if you don't win any other games but that game. You can go 0-11. Get to that 12th game, you better win it.
That rivalry being over 100 years, it's just a dynamic atmosphere. And once the Grizz Bobcat week comes along, you're either a Grizzly or you're a Bobcat.
It's kind of like the Hatfields and the McCoys. I mean, some people are on one side of the fence or the other, and there's no turning their colors.
It's honestly like a war. It's trash talking. Guys just do not like each other.
Cat Grizz game it's more than just a game.
It is probably, as good a rivalry as there is.
Get to that 12th game, you better win it.
Great to be here in Bozeman on the campus of Montana State University. And what a scene this was moments ago in preparation for the national anthem here at Bobcat Stadium. Montana arriving in Bozeman with an overall record of 9-2, 5-2 in conference play. For the home team, Montana State, a record of 7-4, 5-2 also in conference play. They are 4-1 here at home. Let's head it down to the field and reconnect with Jen Mueller.
Well, Tom, when we got here this morning, Montana head coach Mick Delaney said it was about controlling the emotions of his team, and I think he was modeling that during warm-ups. Not in the middle of the field, but standing almost hidden among staff and supporters on the sideline as if it was another game. Now, we all know that's not the case, especially Montana State head coach Rob Ash, who's looking to feed off the energy of this crowd. You see, the Bobcats have lost back-to-back games for the first time in the career of Denarius McGee. And they know it's important to keep this crowd into it and give them something to cheer for, Tom.
Jim, thanks so much. As you hear the fans come alive here in Bozeman. Good look at Rob Ash in his 7th season, a record of 57-26 as he gets ready for the 113th Brawl of the Wild. The first meeting way back in 1897. Montana, for the most part, dominating the series, 69-37-5. But things have tightened up. The visitors have won the last 3 meetings, and obviously Montana hopes that trend continues. Denarius McGee has had a phenomenal career here at Montana State, but had a rough week last week in a home loss to Southern Utah. He committed 3 turnovers and made a critical mental mistake late in that game as the Bobcats came up short 22-14, making this a must-win, Jason, for Montana State as we get ready for the Bobcats to receive the opening kickoff.
Yeah, you start the season, you'd have thought Montana State would be one of the top 3 teams in the country. That's not the case. A lot of injuries, some disappointments, but they have a chance to right the ship all in one game here this afternoon.
And the kickoff, John Ellis and Sean Johnson back deep to receive. This is Johnson, and he almost came a little bit too far, but he got the touchback down just in time as the Bobcats will start first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. An offensive group that averages over 34 points per game, 3rd best in the Big Sky Conference. They are looking not only for balance, but they're just looking to regain some momentum lost in the second half 2 games ago against Eastern Washington, and really for the entire game last week against Southern Utah.
Yeah, just were not able to get on track. They've had injuries all season long, but that man right there has not felt his best since early on in the season. He's going to have to be at his best today, Tom.
A rare member of the 10,000, 1,000 yard club at the quarterback position. 10,000 through the air, 1,000 on the ground. trying to add to that air total as his intended receiver was John Ellis. That incompletion will bring up second down. Glorious weather day here today. It is chilly. Snow earlier this week, and that did impact Montana State's preparations. They had a difficult time trying to get out and get some practice time in. 27 degrees right now with the wind chill. Feels like it's 21. Cody Kirk. Modest game before the Grizzlies stack him up. Cody Kirk stopped by Alex Benjamin, number 92. Kirk wrapping up his career here today if the Bobcats do not get into the postseason. Entering the game with 1,039 yards rushing, fourth best in the Big Sky Conference, and he is a touchdown machine. 18 on the ground and 2 through the air. Third down coming up. McGee for Tanner Bleskin. That'll be short of the first down. Good coverage that time by Jordan Tripp. Outstanding as senior linebacker out of Big Sky High School in Missoula. There's Jordan, one of the all-time greats at his position for the Grizzlies.
Well, and a guy, a third-generation Grizzly, and a guy who just makes plays all over the field. He and his best friend Cody Kirk, the running back for Montana State, are going to be colliding heads all day today. And Jordan Tripp and company forcing a 3-and-out for Montana State, something they became all too familiar with last week against Southern Utah.
Rory Perez on to punt. Ellis Henderson. Henderson getting under it and fielding it at his 18-yard line. Finds a seam up the middle. Ellis Henderson trying to get around the edge. He's into Montana State territory, and a terrific return by Ellis Henderson. He is #1 in the Big Sky Conference in punt returns, 13 yards per average, and that average just went up.
Well, Ellis Henderson really coming of age as a Grizzly football player. He's had a great season on the gridiron as a receiver, and you see his speed, what it can do if it gets to the outside for field position for this Montana offense.
42-yard return for Henderson, and terrific field position for Jordan Johnson and company. Their first possession here in this game. Jordan Canada, the lone setback. Nowhere to go, a loss on the play. Alex Singleton, number 43. Also number 50, Craig Ashworth, in on the stop.
Yeah, this front seven for the Bobcats is going to have to play very, very well against this rushing attack for Montana. First down is key for Montana. They've been solid all year long, but the Bobcats make a stand early on first down at home here.
Montana's offense generating nearly 39 points per game, second best in the Big Sky to Eastern Washington. Canada will try again. It's just over a yard, and that'll bring up third down and long. Number 47, Taylor Dees, with the tackle for the Bobcats. Good look at Jordan Canada entering the game, 887 yards rushing, sixth best in the Big Sky, 5 yards on the average per carry.
Keep your eye on Brad Daly. He's going to be on the bottom of your screen, number 41 for the Bobcats, leading the FCS in sacks.
Coming into the game with 14. Johnson with some heat from behind, and down goes Jordan Johnson, brought down by Brad Daly. That's sack number 15. Brad Daly, 6'1", 240 senior out of Helena's Capital High School.
Yeah, just a speed rush. A nice pocket, but when you got a guy that's as fast as Brad Daly and is relentless, he's going to go after that quarterback all game long until that whistle blows. That time Jordan Johnson holding on to that ball just a second too long.
Stephen Shaw on to punt. Sean Johnson back at his 10-yard line. High snap. Blocked! Blocked by Daly. And Montana State, the recovery by number 47, Taylor Dees, blocked by Daly, recovered by Dees, and the Bobcats are back in business.
Well, Jordan Tripp, their All-American linebacker, is also their deep snapper, and this one did not come off his hands very well. A wobbly ball, not a whole lot of velocity on it, and they were coming after it.
So how about that? Back-to-back plays for Brad Daly. The sack on third down, the punt block on fourth down. And the second possession offensively for Montana State will begin at the Grizzlies' 44-yard line. Read option to Cody Kirk. 2-yard gain on the play. Brock Coyle, number 56. Also Zach Wagaman, defensive end, in on the tackle. Wagaman's having an outstanding season, 15 tackles for a loss. That leads his club, 6'3", 250 junior, out of Missoula's Sentinel High School. Second down and 8. Double tight end set. McGee in trouble. And McGee goes down. Jordan Tripp getting him down after he felt some heat from Alex Benjamin.
Good coverage in the defensive backfield for Montana. Doesn't allow Denarius McGee to find its target. He's got to avoid Benjamin, and then Jordan Tripp helps clean up the mess. Brings Denarius McGee down and forces 3rd and long.
3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left for Denarius McGee on 3rd and 8. 4-man rush. McGee, open receiver. Down near the 25-yard line. They'll mark Tanner Roderick down at the 28. First down, Montana State. Eleventh catch this season for Tanner Roderick, and a fresh set of downs. Nice catch by the Bozeman native. Kirk with room. Cody Kirk brought down by number 12, the free safety Matt Hermanson. Nice pickup on first down of 8 yards.
Well, if they can get Cody Kirk going, he's really the heart and soul of that offense. They get a lot of momentum with him running that football.
First penalty flag of the afternoon.
False start. Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's a left guard, Kyle Godecki. This is his 22nd consecutive start on this young offensive line. 3 sophomores, a freshman, and a junior. So this group will be back intact next season. Montana State. McGee on the keeper. All down. Terrific tackle. Brock Coyle, the Bozeman native who got away to Missoula. Flag down near the 10-yard line. Look at Brock right there, number 56. Went to Bozeman High School.
Well, this is a Montana State team that's been penalized over 60 times.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 4 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. Third down.
That's the wide receiver, John Ellis.
Yeah, he and Nate Harris were tangled up towards the end of that play, and it's the reason I brought up 60-some penalties for Montana State coming into this game, and a lot of them they're shooting themselves in the foot as they get into that red zone area, and that is a costly penalty after the short scramble by Denarius McGee, and then at 15 yards back from there, they're out of field goal range and have 3rd and forever.
Jason, in Montana, you have the least penalized team in the Big Sky, 39 yards per game. 3rd and a long way to go for the Bobcats. McGee scrambling, and 3 Grizzlies are right there on him. McGee well short of the first down. Caleb Kidder, number 44. Jordan Tripp also there. And we'll see if this is going to be a punt or a long field goal attempt. And the punt team is on. This is Trevor Bolton. He handles the short directional kicks for the Bobcats.
A big penalty on this drive takes away a scoring opportunity for the Bobcats.
You certainly understand the emotion, but you cannot let it cost your team an opportunity to score early in this rivalry. Fair catch by Henderson. It is the 113th Brawl of the Wild. And we are scoreless in Bozeman.
Black Friday's coming.
Tailgating outside of Bobcat Stadium. We have some Grizz fans there partaking in the early morning activities. See some of the fans here. Average attendance here at Bobcat Stadium, 19,339. That is fourth best in FCS football. And they are packed in here today. First and 10 from the 9. Reception out near a first down to number 6, Jamal Jones, brought down by Alex Singleton.
Well, we talked about the run game, but Ellis Henderson is the big play threat off of play action. They like to go down the field. 15 touchdowns on the season, but it's all going to run through Jordan Canada and his ability to get big yards on first down. We've already seen the impact of Brad Daly. Leads the FCS in sacks. We saw the block punt. He's going to be all over the field this afternoon.
Second down and 1. Canada shy of the first down. He's had a tough time getting started as Singleton again in on the stop. 3 carries and he's netted about 2 yards. Defense really rising to the occasion for Montana State early in this game. Third down and 1.
This is where Montana, you think they like to lean on those big linemen on the right-hand side. Will Pales and Danny Kistler, 6'8", 340 and 6'8", 315. It's a lot of meat up front to run behind.
Early timeout taken by Montana. Third down coming up. We'll return to Bozeman. .701 left in the first quarter here in Bozeman. Third down and 1 for Montana. High formation behind Jordan Johnson. Hand off to Canada. Nowhere to go. Denied the first down by Rob Marshall. Number 5 for Montana State, a junior out of Carrollton, Texas.
They did. They run right over the right side of that line. Lots of white jerseys there. They just cannot get their hands on Montana State. And a huge stop for the Bobcats to get the ball back for their offense in what should be very good field position, Tom.
Stephen Shaw on for his second punt. Sean Johnson standing to receive at his 45-yard line. Now drifting back. Good punt by Shaw. And Johnson brought down near the 37-yard line.
Well, Montana State's going to have some opportunities to do things offensively, but it's going to have to run through their man, Denarius McGee, one of the most prolific players in Montana State history. He's struggled of late, but this is it. He shines in big games. Cody Kirk, 47 career TDs, getting it done on the ground in a very cold environment to control the clock. With Jordan Tripp, he's going to have something to say about that. Best friends with that running back, Cody Kirk. They grew up together in Frenchtown, Montana. Big opportunity for him today to send the Montana Grizzlies into the playoffs and end the season for the Cats.
Good look right there at Jordan. First down and 10 from the 37. McGee getting some heat. Unloading. Incomplete pass. Looking for Brian Flotcutter, junior receiver out of Laurel, Montana. Laurel High School. Grade 4.
Well, you see it, zone coverage here. Flotcutter knows he doesn't want to get too close in the middle there. Because Brock Coyle is a thumper. He took a little bit of a shot, but Denarius McGee led him just a tad early on. The accuracy for Denarius has got to be something that Montana State fans are concerned about.
McGee with 5 receivers out. 2-yard gain. And Brock Coyle with a tackle on Tanner Bluskin. Third down and 8 coming up.
The all-time receptions leader for Montana State. He is a favorite target of Denarius McGee. Does a nice job in those zone beater routes when you need a positive play. Tanner Bluskin, a big 6'4" target. He's going to be the man that Denarius McGee's looking for. Now another third down opportunity for the Cats.
Montana State, 1 of 3 on third down conversion tries. McGee incomplete. The intended receiver, Sean Johnson. So it's the defenses making an early statement here at Bobcat Stadium. As both offenses have struggled trying to find their early rhythm.
Well, quite frankly, I think it's Montana State hurting themselves early on. You got the penalty that took them out of field goal range. That time Sean Johnson drops a very catchable pass against an 8-man coverage. So Montana State's got to just relax a little bit in this big game, and I think they're going to be able to move the football.
Rory Perez to punt. Ellis Henderson back at his 20. Signaling for the fair catch. And makes it at the 30-yard line as we are scoreless in the first quarter. The Brawl of the Wild is one of the most historic rivalries in the American West. This being meeting number 113. The 100th meeting came in 2000. And Montana's John Edwards' 91-yard touchdown pass to Jimmy Ferris was all the Grizz would need in Missoula as Montana won 28-3.
Upgrade takes on Eastern Washington today at 2:30. UC Riverside takes on Seattle U Monday at 7.
Big Sky Football on Root Sports is brought to you by First Interstate Bank. Neighbors helping neighbors in the place we call home. And by BNSF Railway, the engine that connects us. Taking a drive with us down Church Street here in Bozeman. How about that for a postcard shot with the snow on the ground? As we return to action, first down and 10. Johnson bobbles the football, swings it out. Trayvon Van, the running back, losing yardage on the play. A 5-yard loss as that one was kind of messed up from the get-go.
Well, the play action run fake kind of knocked the ball loose from Jordy Johnson. Then he gets the ball out to Trayvon Van. And he has a tough time holding on to it. They're just happy they have second down.
Second down and 15. See Chase Nacarado sprinting out wide to the left with 2 receivers to Jordan Johnson's right. Handoff. Jordan Canada picking up 2 yards on the play. Cole Moore making the stop, number 16, junior out of Palo Alto, California, linebacker for the Bobcats.
And he's a guy that'll stay on the field in these third and long situations. And if you're Montana and you want to find a matchup, Cole Moore out there on the wide side of the field, that's a lot of space to cover. And he's going to be matched up over Cam Warren. Granted, they'll be in zone.
Montana 0 for 2 on third down. They have third and long. Blitz coming. Dumping it off. Incomplete. Pressure coming from Brad Daly that time on Jordan Johnson. And the punt team for Montana will be coming on. After that second down play, you want to make note, Jamal Wilson, the starting fullback for Montana, limping off the field. He's been having issues with an ankle. Did not play last week at home against Weber State.
See on that screen play, very effective. They've been used to Brad Daly speed rushing to the outside. They run a little twist. Brad Daly gets loose on the inside, causing havoc on that screen.
Shaw punting it away and driving Johnson back. He dances around looking for some room. Sean Johnson still on his feet. Johnson at midfield. Johnson has a chance to take it to the house. Sean Johnson, touchdown, Montana State.
What a huge play for the speedster. Banged up last week. There's some question if he was even going to be able to be a factor in this week's game. And once again, Sean Johnson, who impacts the game in so many levels, gets it done on special teams and gives the first big spark of the game to the Bobcats.
82-yard punt return for the touchdown for Sean Johnson. Roy Perez on for the extra point. It is good. What a terrific return by number 33, Sean Johnson. junior out of Bakersfield, California.
Well, Steve Shaw had a huge kick, but not a lot of hang time. So you saw Sean Johnson had some space between he and the Gunners. He made that initial move, and a lot of gold hats on white jerseys. See the space that I talked about. And look at all the Montana State jerseys getting on top of people. And anytime you've got Sean Johnson matched up against a lineman, Samson Kalikini, Sean Johnson's going to win that one-on-one battle every time, and then it's just off to the races.
Well, his first punt return for a touchdown this season. He has been dangerous. He's returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns this year, uncovering 100 yards. He's the top return man on kickoffs in the Big Sky Conference. So, boy, he did just a terrific job in terms of what I was so impressed on that return. His patience in reading the defense. I mean, he had a plan of attack.
Well, again, you don't get hang time. You can have as long a kick as you want, but you afford that patience to the kick return. It just so happens that Sean Johnson is one of the best in the business.
At the 5-yard line, this is Chase Nacarado, and Nacarado gets out near the 30, a rare return for Chase this season. We'll see if the Montana offense can get something going. It has been a challenge. We'll take a look at our Northern Quest Resort Casino by the numbers. Last 3 games, the Grizz on a roll, 3-0, 41 points per contest. Montana State has struggled. A record of 1-2, and offensively just scoring 21 per contest. We're certainly hoping that Johnson return will ignite the entire club. Johnson buys some time, goes deep, looking for Henderson, incomplete at the 29-yard line of Montana State. Ellis Henderson certainly a deep threat, 35 catches coming in, averaging 25.2 yards per reception.
We get the idea that Jordan Johnson's got some arm strength, and great timing by Deontay Flowers. I'm sure there's some Grizz fans sitting at home and watching this one that thought he got there just a bit early. You can make an argument for that, but you're not going to get that call in a game like this, a big rivalry game on the visiting team's turf.
2nd down and 10. Flag on the play. Our referee today is Jim Crowley.
Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down. Please reset the game clock. 3 minutes, 17 seconds.
All right, tackle number 76, Danny Kistler Jr. 6'8", 315-pound senior out of O'Day High School in Seattle. 2nd down and 15. Trayvon Van in motion. Trying to set up a screen and nothing doing. No chance, no way. Taylor Dees saw that all the way. And another loss of yardage for the Montana Grizzlies.
John Wynn, another Bellevue Wolverine on this Montana Grizzly football team. Trying to slip him in for the screenplay, but early on in this game, Montana State is all over this Grizzly offense. They've been watching some film and they're executing at a high level.
3rd and 21. Montana has not converted on 3rd down 3 previous occasions, and that ball was batted up in the air. That was number 90, Taylor Sheridan, sophomore out of Littleton, Colorado. And this Montana State defense has really been outstanding so far.
Well, they had a screen set up. They emptied the backfield, trying to spread this defense out. But they can't even get it to the receiver to get upfield with great defense by the line for Montana State. Boy, they are playing with all sorts of emotion early on in this game, Tom. They're giving fits to the Grizz.
Total offensive yardage for Montana in this first quarter, 0. Shaw gets it away. Not a very good punt. Interesting, last night it was not Sean Johnson who was back deep to return. Instead, it was number 12, David Dash. 2:28 left in this opening quarter. The Bobcats with a 7-0 lead. 13th rated team in the nation. Now 24 teams go into the FCS playoffs, so you would think that a win today would automatically punch their ticket into the postseason, and those in the know are saying that is not necessarily the case. Everybody, though, agrees if they lose today, there's no way they'll be part of the postseason. Muggy on the keeper. Fumble, ball is loose. Grizzlies in the neighborhood. And did they get the recovery in time? They did. Zach Wagenman looked like he covered it. Number 58 as the ball was knocked free from Denarius McGee, who had turnover issues last week, giving away 2 interceptions and a fumble.
Well, they had a good play, too. Tanner Bleskin just completely missed the Montana defender. And you saw the big hammer that got thrown down.
That was Brock Coyle.
Yeah, Brock Coyle from that linebacker spot. Montana, the first big turnover of the game, has a short field to work with.
So an opportunity for a Grizzlies offense that has been stagnant so far. And backwards they go again. Canada losing yardage. Craig Ashworth, number 50, with a tackle. And see number 75 on the offensive line, William Pale, saying, I don't know what we're not doing.
Well, it's a tough reach for Will Pales. You saw Ashworth was inside of him in alignment. If you're running to the left and Will Pales is asked to get Craig Ashworth, you're not putting him in the best position for success. You already have a defensive lineman that's got a good 2-yard head start.
7-yard loss on that play. Jordan Canada has carried the ball 5 times for -6 yards. Wildcat formation. Trayvon Van picking up some yardage. Stumbles down to the 30-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and short.
Well, if he doesn't get tripped up, Tom, he's going to have a lot more yardage there. Saw good pace to the offense. It got up, got set in that formation. Didn't allow Montana State really to adjust. And Trayvon Van is he's a game breaker. He's a speed burner. Finally starting to get healthy from that ankle injury, and you saw what he can do there. Still, after that big 7-yard loss, they've got a little bit of work to do if they want a new set of sticks.
Trayvon Van, a junior transfer out of Marshall University. 3rd and 2. Pitch to Van. Cutting it back, Trayvon Van. Looks like he might be just short of the first down. Alex Singleton. Michael Foster, number 53. 2 linebackers in on the tackle that time for Montana State.
Well, as a running back, you've got to make a decision of when to go north and south. In that particular time, Trayvon Van cut it up on the toss sweep, but it appeared they had several of his blockers out in front. If he had kept going to the perimeter, Montana State is able to take care of business. Now 4th and short, Montana's going.
15 seconds left in this opening quarter. And taking the snap directly from center and moving ahead for the first down. How about that for some creativity? Cam Warren, a senior out of Bellevue High School, just east of Seattle.
Well, and a former quarterback.
The job done, yeah.
And a former quarterback out of Bellevue High School, used to taking snaps from center. So love the creativity from Kefense Heinzen, the offensive coordinator for Montana. And what a great time to pull it out. You know you've got some of those trick plays, but they're so important to use at the right time. In 4th and 1, you can't have a better time to use it.
And that trick play, the final play of the first quarter. Montana State in front of Montana, 7-0.
Black Friday's coming.
The Bobcats in front of the Grizzlies, 7-0 as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. Montana's drive still alive after converting a 4th down play. 1st down and 10 at the Montana State 27. Jordan Johnson, a lot of time. He'll run for some yardage and dive forward down to the 22-yard line. Forced to the ground by number 51, Michael Foster.
Good recognition of coverage by Jordy Johnson. As they wanted to get a little pump and go to Ellis Henderson, but Montana State playing a deep shell coverage, which means the corners and the safeties are all going to be off. You saw that. Said I'm going to duck for cover, pick up 5 yards, and play another down.
Second down. Quick throw to Ellis Henderson. Good tackle right there by Deontay Flowers. Third and short coming up for Montana.
Yeah, that's a battle Ellis Henderson's got to win. He does that, and he has a chance to get into the end zone, but a great open field tackle by Deontay Flowers to force another third down.
With an injured Bobcat down at the 21-yard line. Looks like it may be number 5, Stephen Bethley. Senior out of, check it, Rob Marshall. Marshall, number 5. Junior out of Carrollton, Texas.
I think it's one of the defensive linemen.
Just saw the 5.
And this has just been a scene that they've seen far too often this year for Montana State with key players on the ground.
Michael Foster. It's Foster, number 51. Junior out of Seabrook, Texas. So he's trying to shake off whatever the issue is. Montana in the red zone of this season, scoring at nearly 79%. Third and short, Trayvon Van driving forward. Stephen Mark. Brad Daly with a stop. This is going to be very close to the first down. We'll see if the Grizzlies go for it again on 4th down.
Early on, the run game for Montana has not shown to be dominant the way I thought it might have. Montana State has just struggled defending the run most of this year, but they have gotten up for this game, and in key situations, they have forced Montana into a lot of 4th downs. The second one of this drive.
Converting on the first one with a bit of a trick play. Johnson handing it off to Van. I don't think he got it. Montana State doesn't think he got it. And he did not. So the Bobcats will take over on downs. Boy, good job plugging that hole by number 1, Stephen Bethley, the free safety, just flying in there and close that hole up.
Well, and Bethley, his whole career at Montana State, has always played the run very, very well. And you got to credit that front 4 for holding the line, not allowing any push whatsoever. And Bethley and that linebacking core attacking the line of scrimmage and forcing the 4th down stop. Now Montana State's offense on the field, no damage suffered from that turnover.
Denarius McGee, 3 of 6, 24 yards. The last time the Bobcats had the ball, he was stripped from it. High snap that time, and he did a good job just making the catch. Loss on the yardage as Brock Coyle got there.
Ball handling has been a struggle for both of these teams early on, Tom. We've seen some errant snaps, seen the mesh between quarterback and running back not where it needs to be. I wonder if that cold air might be affecting it a bit. No wind to speak of today, but brisk temperatures in the 20s.
Second down and 12. McGee keeps it. And the ball dropped. Intended receiver, Tanner Bluskin. That would have been good for a first down.
Boy, they're having to work hard to get open. Tanner Bluskin, that time a double move. He ran the out, the up, and then back to the sideline. Perfect pass from Denarius McGee to his main target. Not a pass you see him drop very often.
Tanner Bluskin, statistically the best receiver in Montana State history. Coming into this game, 188 catches. That is number 1 on their all-time list. Also number 1 in career yardage. Third down and 12. 3-man rush. McGee with room. Denarius McGee with the first down. Finally taken down by J.P. Cannon. Got him.
Denarius McGee's playing with some emotion, wants to get them fired up, and he takes matters into his own hands here. Feels the rush from Zach Wagaman a little bit. Sees a wide open middle and says, I can outrun Alex Benneman. Takes a shot from Brock Coyle and JP Kanangata, but they get a new set of downs.
15-yard gain. Cody Kirk, nowhere to go. Wagaman was there to greet him and then got support from, among others, Brock Coyle and number 12, Matt Hermanson.
Well, it's one of the things that Zach Wagaman does very well from that defensive end spot is he holds the edge and forces it back inside. So when Cody Kirk tries to run outside, Zach Wagaman's got that outside arm free, and there's no going around the end.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. See a good-sized knee brace on the right leg of Denarius McGee. Here's Sean Johnson. Nice move by Johnson as he broke the ankles of Kanangata that time. Bought himself some room. So that's the type of support that Denarius McGee needs on the ground. And speaking of support, you look at that knee brace. He's got an issue there.
Yeah, that's new. That's not his normal wear and tear, plant lay. That's new. And Rob Ash told us, that shoulder from earlier in the season isn't 100%. And he's got an injury that he wasn't really willing to talk about, and rightfully so, on a big rivalry week. But Denarius McGee, you'd have to have him missing limbs before you took him off the field in his last home game as a Bobcat.
That shoulder injury cost him 2 games. Johnson with a 10-yard gain. 1st down for the Bobcats. Plays blown dead.
They probably got the timeout before the delay of game.
Timeout, Montana State. First timeout of the half.
First timeout for the Bobcats. We'll come back to Bozeman, where Montana State has the lead.
You could not dial up a more perfect day for football. Montana State up 7-0 against Montana. Hello, everyone. Jen Mueller on the sideline with Montana Congressman Steve Daines, who likes that score as a former MSU alum. You have made a bet with the state attorney general who is rooting for the Grizz. Ever any nervousness about doing that before a game?
Well, I'll tell you what, look at this game today. It could be decided by block punts and punt returns, but I've got a Denarius McGee jersey for the attorney general here once the Bobcats win this game.
All right, and since you have been at this game so many times, how has it changed since you were a student here?
Well, it's a great tradition. 113 years old. My dad's a Grizzly. I'm a Bobcat. We have that divided house thing going on. But we've got over 21,000 fans here in Bozeman today. Bobcats and Grizzlies here. It's just a great Montana tradition.
It is, and I guess we should let him go back to his family, because right now, Tom, he's got bragging rights in the household.
So far, a long way to go. Thanks, Jen. Cody Kirk with a 4-yard gain for the Bobcats on 1st down. 2nd down and 6. McGee flushed out of the pocket and chased by Tyrone Holmes, who forces him out.
When you see the speed from Tyrone Holmes as a defensive end, running with Denarius McGee to the sideline. Denarius wanted a flag there. That was well within the sidelines. But nonetheless, another scramble by Denarius McGee, putting them in a 3rd, very manageable down and distance.
Well, you are looking at a record-setting crowd here today at Bobcat Stadium, 21,527. Mostly Bobcat fans, to be sure, but there are some Montana fans here. 3rd down and 3. McGee will scramble for the 1st down, and he is into Montana territory. Up a little slowly, and you see him limping.
Now, Tom, he planted on that right leg. Watch the very end of this run. He plants on that right leg to get back outside, and I don't think that felt very good, as you saw him get up hobbling a little bit. He's kind of holding on to that right knee right now as he gets a signal from the sideline.
First down for McGee and company. And off to Kirk. not much doing.
Yeah, Denarius McGee cannot move. Even on that handoff, he didn't get his feet squared around. Just sat and watched. This could be a big storyline for the Bobcats. And boy, your heart just goes out to Denarius McGee, where everything he's done in his 4 years here at this university, to see him not be able to be full speed for the most important game of his career just kills you.
Came into this game with 11,043 passing yards in his career, 6th best in Big Sky history. On second down, McGee intercepted. Near sideline, they're calling it incomplete. Denarius McGee dodging a bullet on that one. Bo Tully nearly had the pick.
Well, it wasn't the throw so much as the coverage by Bo Tully. I mean, he's stride for stride with John Ellis. Just not an open receiver, but there were only 2 guys in the route. That play clearly called specifically to go to John Ellis.
So Tully just unable to secure that catch all the way through contact on the ground. 3rd down and 10. McGee with heat. McGee will go down. Alex Benjamin, like he was in on the stop.
Good old Tonga Takai. And you see the pocket just collapses. Tonga Takai just continues to get a push upfield, and you got to credit the defensive backfield as well. They played man coverage on the outside, zone with the safeties, and just nowhere for McGee to go with that football.
It was actually, along with Takai, was number 91 Tyrone Holmes. Trevor Bolton on for the punt. And a timeout taken.
Timeout, Montana. Second charge, timeout and a half.
.7:57 left in the first half. Look at number 52, JP Canagata. Let's go back and take another look at Denarius McGee and that plant you were talking about on that scramble play.
Yeah, he's got that knee wrapped up, and you see it buckle just a little bit there. Jordan Tripp even eases up right as he goes to the sideline.
Denarius will stay in this game as long as he physically can.
Well, they called that sprint right, so clearly it's not affecting him as much as maybe we have thought, but you know, his mobility and his ability to get out of trouble and create plays is very, very big. As you see, Jake Bleskin, the backup quarterback, younger brother of Tanner Bleskin, keeping that arm warm. And on a day like today, when you're a backup quarterback and you're just sitting, it makes it very, very difficult.
Jake Bleskin, 6 touchdown passes this season, 4 interceptions. He had 2 starts. Ellis Henderson back deep to receive, standing at his own 11-yard line. Trevor Bolton to punt it away. Pooch kick, bouncing at the 15, and nowhere to go. Good punt coverage by Montana State. Good look at downtown Bozeman, where most of the fans in this city are pulling for the Bobcats.
Black Friday's coming.
Big Sky Football on Root Sports is brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino in Spokane, Washington. Visit northernquest.com for more information. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And by Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances, only appliances. You are looking at Mammoth Hot Springs, about 80 miles from Bozeman in Yellowstone National Park. This is Bobcat Stadium. Montana first down and 10, trailing Montana State 7-0. Jordan Johnson with a handoff, and running into a wall of Bobcats was Jordan Canada. He's really got nothing going so far today.
Yeah, and this is where Montana's going to have to be very careful with the football. They're backed up there into the Sonny Holland zone, which is the student section, the newly built bowl. on that end zone, and this is where it gets really, really loud, and you've got to have to take care of the football. Just Montana State defense playing very, very well right now.
Jordan Canada, a difficult time getting things going on the ground. Pass out across the 20-yard line out to 49. That is a backup tight end, Jordan Harper, redshirt freshman out of Great Falls, Montana.
Another 3rd and short. They get back a fair amount of the yardage, but now a 3rd down, which really Montana has not been very strong all year long, but especially in this game. They've had some really short yardage situations that they have not been able to convert on, and of course a big 4th down stop for Montana State on the last drive.
Mentioned Jamal Wilson earlier, the fullback, limping off, dealing with an ankle issue. He's the lead back out on the field. Hand off and a 1st down as Canada gets out to the 25-yard line. Nice hold that time for Jordan Canada. There is a flag on the play.
It's number 10 lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties decline. 1st down.
It's Odin Coe, who is in the neutral zone, number 10. Sophomore out of Camas High School in Vancouver, Washington. 1st down and 10 for the Grizzlies. Confusion in the backfield. Trayvon Van in trouble and taken down by Michael Foster. Foster, who is shaken up just a few minutes ago. Good to see him back out on the field.
Well, there's nothing that'll drive a coach nuts more than when a guy goes the wrong way. And Jordan Johnson took some wrong steps on that run, and it did not end up well.
See how Jordan just kind of go that way, Trayvon.
Yeah, right. Well, and as Jordan Johnson's steps, Trayvon had the right steps.
Yeah. Loss of 5, 2nd down and 15. Johnson over the middle. Ball dropped. Is it ruled a fumble or an incomplete pass? It's ruled incomplete. Aaron Barnett put a pretty good shot on the intended receiver, trying to pick up his number, shaken up on the play.
Boy, and a good hit by Barnett going low. They want you to go at that midsection. Clay Pearson took the shot, isn't able to hold on to the ball, and I bet you he's got the wind knocked out of him as Aaron Barnett got up a little shaky as well. Another guy for Montana State that they've lost to injury a couple different times this season, and he's walking off very gingerly himself.
Play a senior out of Twin Bridges, Montana.
And they're different with him in the lineup, Tom. He's a big, physical guy in that defensive secondary. It's good to see both he and Clay Pearson now walking off under their own power.
They'll bring up 3rd down and long for Montana. Grizzlies, the 5th rated team in FCS football. They are 1 for 7 on 3rd down conversions. They faced a lot of 3rd and longs. Johnson will try to get it done with his legs. Lunging ahead out near the 35. We'll see where he gets the mark out to the 36. That is 1st down yardage for Montana. Terrific play.
Yeah, Sean Gorge was the one that tried to make the hit on him, and you saw him face down on the sideline. I'm not so sure he didn't come up feeling a little woozy, but look at the creativeness by Jordan Johnson to find it. And then watch this. You want to talk about a big game? You want to talk about needing to know the yardage? He lowers his shoulder and delivers a blow to Sean Gorge that still has Gorge down on the Montana sideline.
Well, obviously, he'll have to go through some concussion protocol to determine if he'll be able to continue playing here this afternoon. And look at Jordan Johnson today, 5 of 9 through the air, but for just 10 yards on the ground. 3 carries for 20 yards, including the one you just saw for the 1st down. 15 yards on the play.
It's good to see Sean Gorge walking off under his own power. Up until this week, he was playing with a cast on his hand. got that one off for this game. Makes it a lot easier to make plays on the ball, but you don't plan on a quarterback lowering his shoulder on you.
Sean, a senior out of Torrance, California.
You know, Tom, you're mentioning the stats for Jordan Johnson, and a lot of times his value to this offense isn't measured statistical efforts. It's what you just saw right there, making and extending plays, giving his team a little bit of burst, lowering the shoulder on a guy. He's just a leader, and everybody in that offense absolutely loves having him back in the huddle.
Very good decision maker, 27 touchdown passes. Just 4 interceptions. Here's Canada with a full head of steam. First down into Montana State territory. Best run of the day for Jordan Canada, brought down by number 5, Rob Marshall.
Yeah, see him come from the weak side of the formation. It's a play that you don't get going vertical right away, so everybody kind of holds their breath, but a great job on the right side of that line. Danny Kistler established the edge and allowed Jordan Canada to turn the corner.
16-yard gain for Canada. Johnson, open receiver. Jamal Jones. He has first down yardage. Jones, a transfer out of the University of Washington, a sophomore from Spanaway, Washington. 31 catches coming into the game. 537 yards, second best on the team. He's been dealing with a foot issue. Most players this time of year are dealing with something, right? 9-yard gain. Approaching the 4-minute mark left in the first half. Johnson finding a window of opportunity and connects with Cam Warren. First down, Montana.
Yeah, this isn't a very big window. Cam Warren trying to find space in between Alex Singleton and Foster. It's good to see Michael Foster back in the game, but not before another first down by the Grizz on clearly their best drive of the football game.
Nine-yard gain to Warren, first down. Johnson batted down. Big left hand that time by number 43, Alex Singleton. Outside linebacker for the Bobcats, a junior out of Thousand Oaks, California.
Yeah, just reading the eyes of Jordan Johnson. He's not going to be able to get to him. Big Will Pales gets in his way, but he sticks that paw up there and knocks it down just as effective.
We've seen Montana State be very effective at that this season. 2 games back at Northern Colorado. It was a deflected pass that preserved the victory. Gain of about a yard that time. Taylor Sheridan, number 90, in on the stop. Singleton there, Coe as well. Good game tackling by the Bobcats.
These long yardage situations, watch Brad Daisy. He's already got a sack and a block punt, but in a clear passing situation for Montana, they can peel their ears back and just get after Johnson.
2 of 8 on third down conversions. Out of time. Now the heat coming on Johnson. And trying to get around the edge. He'll lunge forward near a first down. And he will be marked about 2 yards short. That'll bring up fourth down and decision time for Mick Delaney. You'll go for it on fourth or bring your field goal unit out. Looks like he's already made the decision. They're going to go for it again.
Boy, what a great job by the Montana State secondary to cover for that long. Nowhere to go with the ball for Johnson.
Third time in this first half. They're going to try to convert a fourth down play. They're 1 of 2 so far. Timeout taken. We'll take a break and come back with a very critical play in the first half of this game. Montana State in front of Montana, 7-0.
Peace of mind is important when you're running a successful business. So we...
Not a lot of folks out on Main Street on game day in Bozeman. I can guarantee you tonight it'll be a different story. There will be a lot of people out having a good time tonight. Regardless of how this one ends. Fourth down conversions on the season.
Watch Jamal Jones in the slot right here on Alex Singleton.
1 for 2 in this game from 4th down. 4th down and 2 for Montana. Empty backfield. Johnson has a man and has a catch. What a terrific grab by Cam Warren. Stephen Bethley was right there, but Warren held on.
It almost looked like Stephen Bethley could have made a play at the ball. He got there so early. But you're right, Tom. What a catch by Cam Warren, who we saw in motion as a wide receiver take a snap to convert a 4th down in the first quarter. And now, even bigger converts a 4th down in the reception.
Second catch for Cam Warren for 21 yards. The gain on that last play, 12. First down and 10. Johnson to Trayvon Van. Good defense by Deontay Flowers.
That's twice now we've seen Deontay Flowers in the open field, one-on-one. Big plays. The guy that came back after a season last year where he was targeted. And this year, Deontay Flowers has lived up to the hype, stood up to the challenge, and had a fantastic season.
Second down and 6.
Trips into the boundary. Got to think something to the wide side of the field.
Canada with a stiff arm. Canada lunging for the pylon. Touchdown! Touchdown Grizzlies. Jordan Canada. What an effort by Canada. Junior out of Duarte, California.
When you see the speed there, he breaks down Marshall, then leaps athletically to the pylon and clearly goes over it. Heck of an individual effort and a nice play call by formation by Montana.
15th rushing touchdown for Canada. Ben Wurst on for the extra point. It's good. And we are tied at 7. Let's take another look at this tremendous individual effort by Jordan Canada.
What a great job staying on blocks, allowing Jordan Canada's speed to get to the outside. And you see the athleticism, getting that plant foot in before he goes out of bounds.
Jason, to hold on to that football on such a cold day with one hand to maintain control, that was something.
Yeah, that ball is definitely hard out there, as is the field. I was out there in the pregame, and typically these artificial surfaces, you feel a little padding under there with those pieces of rubber inside the grass, but that thing is frozen solid.
$15-play drive for Montana, covering 89 yards. Time of possession on that drive, 6 minutes and 36 seconds. Grizzlies desperately needing that, as they have been having all kinds of issues trying to get anything going against what has been a very stout Bobcats defense here this afternoon. Chris Leiter, number 87, getting ready to kick off. John Ellis and Sean Johnson back deep to receive. Sean already with an 82-yard punt return for a touchdown in this game, and has 2 kickoff returns for scores this season. That ball getting by both Ellis and Johnson. Touchback out to the 25. Let's connect with Jen Mueller.
Well, Tom, coming up at halftime, we will introduce fans to one of the most important members of the Montana State team. You won't see him making plays on the field. You will see him inspiring those who do. We'll get the incredible story of Connor Firstman coming up. And as Montana State gets ready to take the field, we saw Denarius McGee having conversations with his offensive lineman and with backup Jake Bleskin during that Montana drive, but mostly just sitting by himself, very reflective, going over the play calls. And Tom, you could see it in his eyes. He wanted to make amends.
Jen, we'll see if they take an aggressive approach here to try to get some points. Looks like they will. First down out to John Ellis.
Well, Tom, if they're going to loosen up the coverage for Montana, they've got to figure out a way to get Ellis involved. He is their speed guy in the receiving core, and he can split the difference or split the middle of that field in a hurry.
Both clubs with just one timeout remaining. McGee extending the play, looking again for Ellis, unable to make the catch in Montana territory.
What a dangerous pass throwing back towards the middle of the field, rolling to his left. But in a big game like this, you've you've got to figure out ways if you're a receiver to catch the tough ones, and I felt like John Ellis had an opportunity there.
Denarius McGee today 4 of 10 for 39 yards. Last season at Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula, he threw 47 times, completing 26, a touchdown and an interception, 247 yards. McGee dumping it off to Kirk, threw it a little bit behind Cody. Modest gain on that play as the clock continues to roll.
They're definitely trying to play with tempo here to not allow Montana to rotate their players.
3rd down and 9. 4-man rush. McGee directing his receiver Roderick to go downfield. It looked like Roderick was late in recognizing that, and that's why the sack was registered by Brock Coyle.
Well, and it was important. Typically on a scramble drill, everybody in the receiving corps has a responsibility, and the outside guy usually is supposed to turn and head upfield. In a man-to-man situation, he would have been all by himself, just giving Denarius McGee the opportunity to throw it up to him there, but recognized it too late. And credit once again Brock Coyle being all over the top of Denarius McGee.
Right there it's Zach Wagenman. Coyle, who registered the sack, now with 2.5 this season. And Rob Ash, in his 7th season as head coach of Montana State, a record of 57-26. There's Rob. Started his head coaching career at Juniata College in Pennsylvania. Famous alum of that institution, Chuck Knox, longtime successful NFL head coach. Chuck met Rob while he was coaching at Juniata. Rob loved playing tennis, and Chuck said, you know what? Forget the tennis. You need to learn how to play golf. And for 7 seasons, Chuck Knox paid Rob's dues at the local country club so he could learn the game. Flag on the play as Roy Perez punted away. Roy Perez, number 18, having one of the best season a punter has ever had at Montana State, averaging nearly 46 yards per punt.
It's going to be a legal formation against what would appear to be. They're explaining it to Mick Delaney. Trying to figure out what he wants to do, so it would seem to be against Montana State. They're going to make him re-kick it.
Jim Crowley, our referee.
And with just 17 seconds left in the half, it's really a strategic decision. Make him kick it. You have a chance to go after it.
26 offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Penalty against a backup defensive back, James Nelson.
He's got a couple reasons. You back him up there, you can go after the punt.
Yep.
You're going to get better field position. If Ellis Henderson can forward the ball close to midfield, you at least have a chance to throw a Hail Mary.
You got the top punt returner in the Big Sky Conference, hoping to get a shot at it. Nice punt by Perez. Henderson backed up to his 18-yard line. Flag on the play. That's going to go against Montana. So any real thoughts of scoring for the Grizzlies will come to an end with just 3 seconds remaining in the first half.
Bo Tully, clear block in the back. If the referee didn't see it, 21,000 people were going to make sure he did.
Number 30 on the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Jason, interesting, last season in Missoula was a 16-7 win for Montana State. Here we are in another defensive struggle.
Yeah, both defenses have played fantastic, and at times it's been the defenses throughout this season that have really limited their teams, but not today.
Well, in fact, you've got the Montana defense is pitching the shutout. It's the punt coverage team that gave up the points on that return by Sean Johnson. Well, we are right where we were at the opening kickoff. A tie game. Montana will receive the kickoff to start the second half. The Bobcats and the Grizzlies are tied at 7 in Bozeman.
coming. On Facebook at facebook.com/RootSportsNW.
The BNSF Halftime Report is presented by BNSF Railway, the engine that connects us. Well, it is the biggest game of the year, and right now it is locked up in a 7-7 tie, Montana State and Montana, under beautiful sunny skies here in Bozeman, Montana. It is the 113th playing of the Brawl of the Wild, and last night the Bobcat players enjoyed a look at this video, one that's designed to motivate, inspire, and to get them to play the best that they possibly can against the rival Grizzlies. And the man behind all of that, well, he's not on the field. Well, he kind of is, but just in a different way. That would be Connor Firstman. And he is the one responsible for really motivating, revving up the players every week. It's his way to contribute to the football team, and one that he credits his high school teacher 4 years ago.
Actually, it has to go back to my high school counselor. She said something pretty, I guess, important to me before I left for college, was try to leave a mark on your college campus, a positive mark.
Connor Firstman didn't just take the advice to heart. The Montana State junior acted on it, lived it, and put his video production talents to use in the athletic department.
My role with Montana State football is I film practice as well as games. For practice, I film the game footage, so what the guys or the team and the coaches watch and analyze, that's what I film during the practice, during the week. And then on game days, I film highlights, so I'm on the sideline with the guys, filming the big plays, the big runs, the big hits, all that stuff.
Those highlights become motivational videos and highlight reels to rev up the players and fans.
They're tremendous. They bring that energy. It makes them before every home game and every away game. Just kind of gets pumped up, and it gives a good excitement, gets you out there ready to roll.
Connor's ability to motivate comes from within. In 2009, he found a lump in his wrist. The resulting diagnosis shocked him.
I have a chondrosarcoma, and it affects, a lot of parts of my body. Right now, there's a tumor in my left chest wall, and there's also a tumor in my left lung behind my heart. When I first heard I was diagnosed with cancer, when they found it in the wrist, it was tough because I was younger then, and I thought, cancer was an old person's disease, or, that's what the diseases that you find on Hallmark movies or whatever.
I think the word inspiring is probably the best word to describe Connor, because he inspires us with his video, the work that he does there, and how he puts that together and gets people feeling good about themselves as players. But then he inspires us with his ability to face this terrible disease that he's struggling with and keep a great attitude.
It helps to humble you, in that there's always something out there that's heartbreaking and crushing, and given that you're able to play the game of football and not have to go through those things, it's truly a blessing.
Connor maintains his smile and positive outlook despite a steady stream of doctor's appointments, surgeries, and chemotherapy treatments. He plugs away to schoolwork and looks forward to the escape football provides.
I don't think about cancer or being sick or whatever. I'm thinking about, the guys and the upcoming game, and or when we're at practice, and just making sure I get the right shot and the right angle for the team. I'm not zooming in too much on a guy, or I'm not zooming out too much on a guy where they can't see. Just keeping my mind busy, because the moment that it isn't busy, that's when you start going to those dark places. And if you start going to those dark places, that'll kill you more than the actual disease, is when you start having your mind tell you lies and tell you things that you shouldn't hear. That will kill you faster than the actual cancer. So yes, being part of this team is probably one of the best medicines I could have.
We have a phrase in our program called "choose how to respond," which means that no matter how bad anything is or whatever happens, we always have the opportunity to respond. And Connor has showed us exactly how to respond to a very, very tough and tragic situation.
I do believe there is a greater plan for all of this, and just got to keep fighting on.
As soon as the Bobcats football season ends, Connor is scheduled to undergo another round of chemotherapy treatments, and every single one of the Bobcat players wants to extend the season just as long as they can for Connor. To do that, though, they're going to need to get some offense in the second half. It's been a lot of defense and special teams locked up in a 7-7 tie. First half highlights just ahead.
With so
The BNSF Halftime Report is presented by BNSF Railway, the engine that connects us. And this has been about as even as it gets, and therefore no surprise that we are tied at 7. Jordan Canada scored for Montana with just over a minute to go in the half to even things up. Hi, everybody. Angie Mentink here alongside Taylor Barton at the Ford Sports Desk. The Brawl of the Wild, actually the first of 2 Big Sky games here on Root Sports. Up next, we're going to head to Cheney for our second game. Portland State facing Eastern Washington, and the Eagles looking to stay perfect in Big Sky play. Taylor, this is an intriguing matchup.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of intriguing matchups throughout the day in the Big Sky Conference. So much is on the line. Playoff seeds, people even getting into the playoffs. Eastern Washington, as you mentioned, Hans, looking to be undefeated in the Big Sky for the first time in school history, had a tremendous season. They know they're in the playoffs. It's just a matter of where they're going to be seated. They need a win today. Portland State out of the playoffs. Nigel Burton and his staff have a young team that they're really trying to build things for the future. They're really trying to get these guys experience and move on as they get into next year. So both teams playing for a lot, but in different ways.
All right, Taylor, thanks. Rich Burke and Coach Rob Akey will have the call coming up. This season, folks, well, it marks the 50th anniversary of the Big Sky Conference and the 25th anniversary of women's competition in the league, and we would like to spotlight some memorable moments in Big Sky history. Today, we're going to go back to the 1977 men's basketball tournament. Idaho State's Steve Hayes poured in 27 points, grabbed 12 rebounds to lead the Bengals to a stunning 76-75 upset over second-ranked UCLA in the second round. The loss will mark the first time since 1963 that the Bruins made the tournament but failed to reach the Final Four. Idaho State went on to the Elite Eight before eventually losing to UNLV. Well, up next, we head back to Bozeman for more on the Brawl of the Wild. This one as good as advertised. 7 apiece, Montana and Montana State.
it's our 5th annual.
Welcome back, football fans. Make sure to catch a new episode of Seahawks All Access each Wednesday night at 10:30 on Root Sports. Get exclusive sideline sights and sounds from each game, plus player interviews and stories you just won't get anywhere else. All right, let's get you back to Bozeman for the second half.
Welcome back to Bozeman, where the tailgating resumed, at least momentarily, at halftime here as we get ready for the third quarter between Montana and Montana State. The 113th Brawl of the Wild, and so far, we have a defensive struggle, 7-7.
Well, yeah, typically you see a low-scoring game like this, like, oh, there must be weather down there in Bozeman, but couldn't be a better day, and both defenses, who, again, have been maligned at times this season, have really showed up to play. I think you look at third down conversions, all the trouble they've had, and it's really, really going to have to pick up in the second half offensively.
As we take a look at our BNSF halftime highlights, 82 yards, Sean Johnson on the punt return for Montana State.
Yeah, a guy that they've got to get more involved, get more touches. He had that one early on. And then a great formation call for Montana late in that second quarter gives Jordan Canada the wide side of the field to race to the pylon. He gets it done, and that's how we sit at halftime.
Two very different plays. What they do have in common, of course, great individual efforts. As we take a look at our BNSF halftime stats, and, well, look at your total yardage. Holy smokes, 108. One team got over 100. That was Montana. Montana State, 89 yards of total offense. It has been a day of defense so far. The third quarter's coming up right here on Root Sports.
Head into Terrell's to claim your pride.
Black Friday's coming.
Go big or go home. Each step you take, you got to own. Go hard, don't stop. It's time to push your game face on. Push hard, no sleeves. Don't be afraid to skin your knees. Go big or go home.
is the hardware these teams are playing for, the Great Divide Trophy. And at least 30 more minutes of football. You can't rule out overtime, not yet anyway, with this game between Montana and Montana State tied at 7. Great to have you with us, along with Jen Mueller, Jason Stiles. I'm Tom Glasgow. And again, what is at stake today for Montana State? They must win the game to have a chance to get an at-large bid into the FCS playoffs. A loss and they are done. Montana looks like they are in win or lose, but they are thinking about seeding as they entered this game as the nation's 5th-rated team. Chase Nacarado on the return out to the 29-yard line as we send it down to Jen Mueller.
Well, that return right there helps Montana get into a position to do exactly what Mick Delaney wanted, and that is stay on schedule in the second half. Do that, the offense stays in rhythm, and we saw what happened on that last touchdown drive when they did. As for Montana State, we'll have to wait a little while to see Denarius McGee on the field. He is expected to play in the second half, and Rob Ash says that it's up to him to make plays to get the Bobcat offense going.
Jen thanks Jordan Johnson in the first half, 9 of 14 for 44 yards. Here's the handoff to Jordan Canada, who gets very nice yardage on first down, a gain of 12. Jordan Canada now with 10 carries for 42 yards. As you look at the quarterback comparison today, Jason.
Yeah, both of them have had their struggles, but I think Jordan Johnson on downs where it counts has shown up. And they're going to have to continue to watch and find out where he's at with the football if they want to have success.
And off again.
Canada.
Jordan Canada, brought down by number 7, Preston Gale. Gale, a senior out of Forney, Texas. Texas has been very good to this Bobcats program. Look at the first half possessions for Montana. Punt block, punt return for touchdown. Punt, turnover on downs. Finally, the touchdown by Canada. And then just one snap before halftime. They certainly expect to do better than that in the second half. We'll see what the Montana State defense has to say about that. Second down and long. Johnson has Jones, and Jones with some room as he breaks the tackle. Jamal Jones right down at the 20-yard line of Montana State. Jamal Jones, the transfer from the University of Washington.
Well, really nice job with Jordan Johnson affecting the defense with his eyes, looking downfield, knowing all along he wanted to come to Jamal Jones underneath. And Jamal Jones never quite got his feet underneath him. He was tripping on the turf, and he got bit by the 30, 25-yard line.
38-yard gain as Sean Gorge missed that initial opportunity at the tackle. First down and 10 at the Montana State 20. Johnson with time. Running out of time, running out of space. And looking for his tight end, Clay Pearson.
Boy, and they missed an opportunity there. Clay Pearson was running a crossing route underneath the outside receiver who had run a go route, and Jordan Johnson just didn't see him. He got confused by the coverage a little bit. Just an errant throw and nothing they could do, but good play call, just not well executed by Jordan Johnson.
Montana this season in the red zone scoring at a 79% clip in terms of touchdowns. 68% of the time they have found the end zone once entering the red zone. Blitz coming. Bubble screen out to Ellis Henderson. Picks up about 3 yards. Brought down by number 37, Deontay Flowers.
Nice job by Mitch Saylor on the perimeter block.
Number 81, junior out of Union High School in Vancouver, Washington. Third down and 7 for Montana. Record crowd here today, 21,527. Johnson getting some heat. Unloads, has the reception. Jones with the first down. First and goal for Montana. Brad Daly couldn't quite get to Jordan Johnson in time.
Boy, and everybody in the stadium was anticipating that sack, and Jordan Johnson just fast enough to buy himself some time And then you see the zone beater there. Jamal Jones just maintains vision with his quarterback. And for the two teams that struggled mightily in the first half on third down conversions, Montana has come out and executed well early in this third quarter.
Jamal Jones has been huge on this drive. Catches of 38 and now 11 yards. Hand off to Trayvon Van. Stacked up at the 3-yard line and driven back there.
Van, the ball carrier.
Safeties Marshall and Bethley with a stop.
For Montana State, the first man got there to wrap him up, and everybody else is pulling at that football, trying to make something happen defensively.
Rob Marshall has a couple of fumble recoveries this season. Would love to come up with a third right here. Bobcats hoping at the very least to keep the Grizz out of the end zone. Johnson directing traffic. Good decision to throw it away. Third down and goal.
Johnson throws it away.
They lost one of their receivers on that route. He fell down in the scrum, and Jordan Johnson had nowhere to go with the football, so that play got locked up at the very beginning. Montana State was in man-to-man, so it was a good defense for them to be in, but the Grizz unable to win their one-on-one matchups.
Third down conversions today. Montana 3 of 10. 3 receivers to the left for Johnson. Hands it off. Trayvon Van. Touchdown, Montana. Terrific interior blocking that time, Jason, and really relatively easy that time for Trayvon Van to take it into the end zone for Montana.
Well, another great formation play, the same one they ran earlier, where they line up 3 receivers to the left. They have to, Montana State does, account for those 3 receivers, so they take 3 defenders out of the picture, and then Trayvon Van's able to negotiate his way right up the middle for another Montana touchdown.
Worst with the extra point. 5th touchdown this season for that man right there, Trayvon Van, the junior transfer out of Marshall. And for the first time today, Montana has a lead in Bozeman.
Black Friday's coming.
Montana takes the opening drive of the third quarter, 71 yards, capped off by the 3-yard touchdown run by Trayvon Van. He's got some guys up front to thank.
Well, no question about it. And they do it by formation, or they take defenders out of it. You've got 3 Montana receivers right here. You've got 3 defenders back here, plus the safety. That means you've only got 7 guys to defend the run with. They give the ball to Trayvon Van right up the middle, and it's a numbers advantage for Montana before the ball is even snapped.
Montana leading for the first time today. Montana State scoring the game's first points on the 82-yard punt return by Sean Johnson, and then the Jordan Canada touchdown run to tie it as we went to half, tied at 7. And now the Bobcats have some catching up to do. Johnson from his own 10-yard line. A good block at the 20, but couldn't do much with it. He's brought down at the 24-yard line.
In the last 3 drives for Montana, they've really held on to the football and minimized the number of chances Montana State gets. And with the 3 and outs, they just have not had many opportunities. Keep in mind, the only touchdown for the Bobcats in this game comes on a punt return by Sean Johnson. So it is really going to be imperative that Denarius McGee, Cody Kirk, and company get going offensively and establish themselves, or at the very least, to keep their defense off the field. But as most Bobcat fans hope, they can find their way into the end zone.
A tough first half for McGee and his offense. Denarius 5 of 11. No interceptions, no touchdowns. Incomplete pass there. Now 5 of 12, and he turned the ball over on a fumble. Take a look at the drives in the first half for the Bobcats.
Now, outside of that 11-play drive, look how many plays they're on the field for. They're just not. You've got to be on the field and wear down that defense, and that's what Cody Kirk does best when he carries the football, and just have not had the opportunities.
Time of possession in this game, 21 minutes 7 seconds for Montana, just 12 minutes 38 seconds for Montana State. Completion to Flotcutter, number 84. Third down coming up for Montana State.
Good ball control. pass by Denarius McGee, a little easy pass and catch against the loose zone. But this is where they have to convert, Tom.
They're down and 4. Flat cutter has the first down by a yard. Coverage by Anthony Goodwin, who's had an outstanding season for the Grizzlies, senior out of Temecula, California. Montana State now 4 of 9 on third down conversions. Kirk. Cody Kirk driving ahead for 4 yards. Ridden down by Zach Wagenman. Zach Wagman's had quite a season. Coming into the game, 15 tackles for a loss, 3 forced fumbles. Last week against Weber State, he had 3.5 sacks and a forced fumble in a blowout victory for the Grizzlies. Second down. McGee. Oh, and that should have been caught, nearly picked off by Bo Tully. John Ellis has got to help his quarterback out on that.
Yeah, that's a couple times we've seen the ball go in and out of his hands, but look at all the room he's got to go. Tough to tell if the sun played a factor in that at all, but John Ellis is too good of a player to let that happen, and the game's shining the brightest. They got to count on number 4.
4th dropped pass today by the Bobcats. On third down. Completion, but well short of the first down. Tanner Bleskin, and he's really been controlled quite well today. Excellent defensive stand that time by Montana.
Well, timing-wise, Nate Harris played his cover 2 responsibilities fantastic. Jammed the outside receiver, and instead of running with him, which is what Denarius McGee read, he peels off and stays shallow, and Tanner Bleskin was met by number 11 short of the first down.
Roy Perez in the first half averaged 41 yards per punt. Ellis Henderson back at his 17-yard line. Signals for the fair catch. Really got a little bit of trouble from Anthony Goodwin getting in his way, but good job by Ellis. And we've got a flag on the Montana State sideline, as like some tempers were flaring over there. That's number 80, T. Salanoa, tight end for the Bobcats.
Guy just coming back from injury. His first came back from a knee injury that we saw him suffer earlier in the season against, I believe, Eastern Washington.
To a junior out of Oxnard, California.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 56 on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So that goes against Brock Coyle.
Yeah, and that's what T. Salanoa was mad about. And lucky it happened on his sideline to not have to counteract Brock Coyle's penalty. But a lot of emotion here. Third quarter on Root Sports.
Appreciate it, man. I'm a big fan.
Me too.
This one goes out to a couple friends of mine.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Hi, Tom.
Wendy's bacon portobello melt. You look different.
I had a little work done.
New bun?
Brioche.
That's hot.
Okay, that was weird. Here's yours. I'm gonna take mine and leave you two alone.
Wendy's Bacon Portobello Melts. A new buttery brioche bun, crisp bacon, and rich portobellos in a melty cheddar sauce.
Now that's better.
There's a perfect cocktail for every occasion, and at Crisco Liquor, we've got the recipe. Crisco Liquor, serving Missoula on the rocks.
happy honeymoon. In Montana, there's no better place to spend it than at the Brawl of the Wild. Montana leading Montana State 14-7. Jordan Johnson has a wide open receiver. Chase Nacarado breaks one tackle and has a first down out to the 25-yard line. So he got away from Sean Gourds, and it was Gourds who had missed the tackle on the last drive that allowed the long run by Jamal Jones. Those things add up. You're in a tight game, and you want to get this battle won from a Montana State defensive perspective. Field position. Your offense is struggling. You want them to have a short field to work with. Gain of 16 on that last play. Here's Trayvon Van, and nowhere to go. Negative face mask penalty.
Yeah, horse collar or face mask. They try to give Trayvon Van the wide side of the field to use his speed. But credit Montana State for recognizing the formation, staying keyed on the Wildcat formation and Trayvon Van.
Trying to just go against Montana.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 8.
Trayvon Van on the
distance to the goal. First down.
Stiff arm. Let's take another look at this.
He's got his hand up inside of Rob Marshall's face mask.
You don't see that going against the offense very often, that face mask call. Now we'll see if the Bobcats can take advantage of that penalty and keep Montana pinned deep in its own territory. Stacked up, no place to go that time. I think it was Trayvon Van on the carry. Good interior defense by Montana State. Those guys in the middle, Taylor Dees, Craig Ashworth tackles, and then those linebackers of Moore, Foster, and Singleton. There's Craig Ashworth, senior out of Florence, Montana. And a pick 6 in the season opening game against Monmouth. 57-yard return. He's got some athleticism. Second and 21. Good pocket for Johnson. Overthrows the intended receiver. Chase Nacarado, third down coming up. Rob Marshall, number 5 of the coverage.
And one of the few times you've seen a clean pocket, and Jordan Johnson is kicking himself here. They had exactly what they wanted. Ball thrown a little high, but Chase Nacarado's got to come up with that.
You don't want to throw too high to Nacarado at 5'7". Sophomore out of Mount Spokane High School. 7:48 left in the third quarter. Third down and 21. Third down conversions today for Montana, 4 of 11. And short of the first down is the tight end Clay Pearson. So the punt team will have to come on for Montana. Cole Moore, a good defensive coverage there. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, it's a hold against Montana. Brad Daly got ripped down as Jordan Johnson was escaping the pocket.
Holding, offense number 74. Penalties decline. Fourth down.
Left tackle John Schmang, sophomore out of Senior High School in Billings. So Stephen Shaw will be on to punt to the very dangerous Sean Johnson, who in the first half returned to punt 82 yards for a touchdown. Last season he went 72 yards on a punt return for 6 against Portland State. Low kick. Takes a good bounce for the Grizzlies. Terrific bounce as the ball goes out at the 15. This is Denarius McGee's 4th Brawl of the Wild. And he burst onto the scene as a freshman in 2010. McGee threw 3 touchdowns, led the Bobcats to a 21-16 win over the Grizzlies in Missoula to clinch their first conference title since 2005.
Black Friday's coming. That time of year, chaos, pandemonium.
Riverside takes on Seattle U, Monday at 7.
Big Sky Football on Root Sports is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By Billings Clinic, member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network. By the Fireplace Center, the largest fireplace retailer in Montana for over 50 years. And by Western Security Bank, security you can trust from people you know. Now another gorgeous shot from Yellowstone, not far from Bozeman. Montana State offense is back out on the field. They desperately are trying to find some momentum. Read option. McGee keeps it for a modest gain. This is where the four seniors on offense really need to deliver for this Bobcats group. McGee, John Ellis, Tanner Bleskin, Cody Kirk. You got to lean on your seniors in these big games. You're trying to stay alive for playoff contention. It's your home finale. It's the regular season finale. I think Rob Ash believes his guys can get it done, but they have to show them they can do it. McGee, boy, got a good block to stay alive. From behind, Cannon got him. And with that bad right knee, you have to wonder how McGee will deal with that. That is a dangerous hit to take. It's JP Cannon got him from behind.
Well, and you got to have a timer go off your head, especially when you see Cannon go by you. You know he's back there somewhere.
Wow, look at that knee gets thrown back. Jeez. I'll tell you, it was a good initial first block by Sean Johnson on Cannon but to JP's credit, he did not quit on that play.
Well, and this entire linebacking core for Montana, so fast. They get up, they run sideline to sideline, and to your point, Tom, they do not quit.
A good group. Cannon, Coyle, and Tripp. 3rd and 10. McGee in trouble, and Tripp has him as he unloads, nearly picked off. That time it looked like it was Herbert Gamboa, number 20, who's moved to a linebacker position this week after spending a good chunk of the season as a backup safety.
We see the defensive technique by Jordan Tripp. His job is to contain, and not let Denarius McGee get outside. He waited for him, and Jordan Tripp, one of the fastest linebackers in the country, pulls down McGee, but not before McGee lets one go and falls incomplete.
Perez to punt away to Henderson at his 45-yard line. Fair catch by Ellis Henderson at the 49. So excellent field position for Jordan Johnson and the Grizzlies offense. Didn't get much going last time.
And here's some competition off the field. We talked about Denarius McGee and Jordan Tripp. This is a steak that I had with them during the media day for the Big Sky down in Utah. Denarius McGee ordered one, and Jordan Tripp sitting right next to him said, "What about this big bad boy?" I will say, though, I got to give it to Denarius McGee. He was eating the bone. There was not one little piece of meat on that. Jordan Tripp slowed down about midway through that thing. But both kids, huge appetites.
Quarterback getting the best of the linebacker at the dinner table. Jordan Canada. Nice shifty run by Canada. Picks up. Going to mark him with a 5-yard gain to the 46-yard line of Montana State.
Well, you go back to that big punt by Stephen Shaw and the roll that they got, hitting him down to the 15-yard line. You know, that really flipped the field as far as field position go, and now Montana State working with another short field on the Montana State side.
Good look right there at Michael Foster, the middle linebacker, number 51. Second down play. Johnson, open receiver, has Nacarado. Nacarado a first down at the Montana State 30. Clearly they saw something. Chase Nacarado very much more involved in the game plan than we've seen in the past.
Well, and he's a speed guy, and speed kills on this route. So while that play action's going on, Chase Nacarado is threatening deep, and you've got to respect his speed. So when the defensive back turns his shoulders, Nacarado puts his foot in the ground, comes back to the football.
16-yard gain on that pass play. Jordan Johnson now 15 of 23, 138 yards as he's heated up here in the third quarter. There's Henderson in motion. And off to Canada. gain of maybe a yard. Michael Foster on the tackle. He's also in on the play for the Bobcats.
Well, with some of the success that Montana's had on the ground, we've seen the touchdown runs by both Trayvon Van and Jordan Canada. Even though they might go for a loss or no gain, they've still chewed up 4 or 5 yards at a time here and there. And that's what makes that passing game so effective. Montana State has to respect the run.
Well, officially no gain on that play. Blitz coming. Pocket secure for Johnson. Was looking for the end zone, and Cam Warren well covered on the play.
Well, Johnson got a little bit greedy there. And when they showed blitz, you knew they were going man-to-man, so a little wheel route to Cam Warren. Cam Warren matched up against an outside linebacker in Cole Moore. You at least think speed-wise Cam Warren would get by him, but it's a little man throwing over a big target.
Might have been a little thought there that Moore held Warren up just a little bit around the 15-yard line on 3rd down. Well defended by the Bobcats. Aiden Vick, number 46, leading the way defensively, and 4th down coming up.
They've been worse on to attempt a field goal. Relatively conservative call just to make sure they didn't give up a sack and find themselves out of field goal range.
47-yard attempt. Longest make this season for worse. The freshman 50 yards. 6 of 9 between 40 and 49 yards. Blocked. Moore comes up with it. Lost the football. Montana State will have it. We'll have to see who got that block. We saw this Montana State team have issues getting kicks blocked at Northern Colorado earlier this season, but they got to that one.
Yeah, they're winning the special teams battle today. There's no doubt about it. As you see, Alex Singleton, that ball did not get off the ground. No elevation at all on that kick. It almost looked like it hit Singleton in the face mask.
So I think that's one you really put on the kicker, and worse, not get that one up as quickly as he needed to. And maybe that's the play that'll spark this Montana State offense that has been stagnant all afternoon. They have not put a single point on the board. The 7 points coming courtesy of the punt return from Johnson. But excellent field position here. 1st and 10 at the 42. Kirk. Nowhere to go. Cody Kirk driven back. Zach Wagenman, number 58, leading the charge for the Grizz.
You know, Tom, and when Cody Kirk is effective is when they keep feeding him the football. And while we know he's hurt, as you see, Southern Utah, very important game, up 7-0 at the half over NAU. But back to Cody Kirk, he's hurt, right? He's got a bad knee, and you just wonder how effective he really is in this game with that knee. But if so, if he's out there, you've got to continue to feed him to get him momentum.
2nd and 10. McGee with time has Ellis. 1st down in Montana territory. John Ellis. Last ball that went his direction was a drop. Matt Hermanson, number 12, with the tackle.
Yeah, a little high-low play action. So they got a Ty Salanoa underneath. And John Ellis coming across the middle of the field. Nice job by Denarius McGee finding him, and Ellis for holding on to the football.
2nd catch today for Ellis. 16-yard pickup, and that ball's batted down as McGee tried to let loose. J.P. Canagata getting into that backfield.
He was coming on a blitz. I think that Jamie Marshall has called up the right, Ty Gregorak's called the right defense at the right time for Montana. Against Montana State today, they are all over the football.
Ty Gregorak, defensive coordinator for the Grizzlies. Congratulations to Ty and his wife Candace. New daughter, about 10 days old. 2nd down and 10. McGee, time in the pocket. Incomplete pass in the neighborhood of both Ellis and Clot Cutter. As we take a look at today's cold, hard facts, brought to you by Coors Light. Denarius McGee You look at total offense, Big Sky career leaders. He is number 4, 12,215 yards as he just went by another former great here at Montana State, Travis Lulay.
Well, and depending on how he continues to play this second half, he's got an opportunity to climb to number 1.
Third down. Batted down by 92, Alex Benneman. Got the big right hand up. And fourth down coming up. I don't think Rob Ash feels the need with 1:55 left in the third and only down by 7 to gamble here on fourth down.
We'll see the technique being used by that front 4. They're just reading and reacting. They're not trying to get too far upfield with Denarius McGee being a little bit shorter in that pocket. There's a lot of big mitts trying to get their hands on it, and they've done it once again and forcing a punt.
Trevor Bolton on to punt away. Henderson back. Well done by Trevor Bolton. And again, when you talk about the battle of field position, that is huge for Montana State if the defense can slow down that man, Jordan Johnson, and the Grizzlies offense.
This will be their biggest challenge of the game. There's no doubt about that. Down there in the Sonny Holland zone, all the students, the band, Montana State faithful. And this is a chance now for Montana State to really make things happen. They're winning the special teams battle. Now it's their defense's turn.
Look at the standings heading into play in the Big Sky Conference. Eastern Washington controlling its own destiny in terms of winning the title outright. Will host Portland State in the game to follow us right here on Root Sports. Johnson out of his own end zone. Misfiring in the area of Nacarado. Flag on the play in the Montana State secondary.
Well, this could be a big play. If it's holding in the end zone, that's a safety.
Well, that flag dropping in the area where you wouldn't necessarily see a holding call.
The penalty doesn't necessarily hurt Montana too much because half the distance from the 1 yard line is not very far.
Big 18 inches is what you're talking about.
Offense number 7. The penalty's declined. Second down.
All right.
I mean, picking up a foot and a half, you'd rather
just
have the down.
Take the down away.
Got the ball marked at the 3, so they would have picked up a yard and a half. But the down still more valuable. Johnson getting some heat from Dees, finds his man for a first down. Big catch out there by Cam Warren.
Boy, and that is huge. Montana State fans throwing stuff onto the field prior to that play going off. Right there when they're scrambling, now you start to worry about a hold. Well, Sean Gorge was 2 feet outside of the sideline. I don't know what he was doing over there, but that created a pocket for Cam Warren and a first down for the Grizz.
So from the 3-yard line out to the 18, a 15-yard gain. Hand off Trayvon Van. Singleton with the stop. Gord's also in on the play for the Bobcats. Trayvon Van's 11th carry. Gain on the play of 4 yards. 20 yards total rushing for Van. Rushing yards for Montana in this game, 87. For Montana State, just 53. Second down and 7. Pearson in motion. Johnson looked all the way to Henderson. This is going to go against Deontay Flowers, who picks it off and returns it into the end zone. But this one will be coming back. That celebration will be short-lived. Interesting, though, that Jordan Johnson looked only at Ellis Henderson from the snap. So Flowers knew that that ball was going to be coming his way. It looked like he had a handful of jersey.
Pass interference. Defense number 37. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Boy, so a big first down for Montana and a huge 15-yard pass interference penalty as you see him getting there early, working through Ellis Henderson to the football. You appreciate the chance that he took, the read that he made, but he was flagged, and now what was a huge momentous play for Montana State is 15 yards the other way for Montana. Now field position is an advantage for the Grizz.
Fourth penalty against Montana State for 40 yards. Montana also with 4 penalties for 44 as Johnson goes deep.
Johnson's pass incomplete.
Looking for Jamal Jones.
Gord's on the coverage.
Sean Gord's with the coverage. 18 seconds left to play here in the third quarter with 5th-rated Montana in front of number 13 Montana State. Second down coming up as Jones comes off the field, and Chase Nacarado, number 5, who's a very important part of what Montana's done offensively today, comes on and lines up wide to the left outside of your shot. Hand off, and nothing doing that time. Like Singleton got there.
And I talked to Denarius McGee before the season started. I said, God, who's going to replace Jody Owens? You know, we'd seen Alex Singleton replace Jody Owens last year during injury, but he said, man, you don't understand how good this kid is. And he is not disappointed this year as he makes a big play for Montana State to end the third quarter.
The fourth quarter of the 113th Brawl of the Wild is coming up with Montana and Montana State locked in a defensive struggle. See if the Bobcats can come from behind.
Welcome back. Angie Mantink with you. Montana leads by a touchdown as we start the fourth quarter. And earlier we asked you to tweet your most memorable moment from the Brawl of the Wild using #GroupBigSkyFB. Here's some of your responses. Easy Pete's was there in the front row in 2008 when the Grizzlies won 35-3 at Logan Drum UK. Well, his favorite moment was 2 years ago. Rad Dog 79 is old school. 1968 Paul Schaefer run for 234 yards. All right, back to Tom.
Angie, thanks. Huge third down play to open the fourth quarter, and Montana converts to Cam Warren into Montana State territory before he was brought down by Gorgs.
3rd and 10, a huge conversion for the Grizz with long yardage. They take advantage of man-to-man. Cam Warren running away from Stephen Bethley. Cam's a little guy, but he can get up and go. And Jordan Johnson, you see, he knows how big that football play was. Now with the ball at midfield and a new set of sticks.
16-yard gain on the play for Cam Warren. His 4th reception now for 50 yards. Johnson fumbles, covers it up for a 2-yard loss.
Recovered by Johnson.
And that could have been costly. Jordan Johnson. Seen ball handling issues all day long for both sides. That one could have been devastating for the Grizz.
Jordan Johnson had a very good third quarter. His passing numbers in this game now 16 of 27 for 153 yards. Long of 38, that going to Jamal Jones on their go-ahead scoring drive. Johnson, a lot of time in the pocket. Goes underneath Jordan Canada. 3rd and long coming up. Foster and Singleton with the stop for Montana State.
He just rushed with 4 that time. Good coverage in the backfield, but no pressure on Jordan allowed him to dump that ball off. Another 3rd and long situation and a chance for Montana State to get off the field.
Montana State 5 of 14 today on 3rd down. Excuse me, Montana 5 of 14 today on 3rd down conversions. Getting some heat, flushed out, and down goes Johnson. Brought down by Hayden Vick, who gets his 2nd sack of the season.
Well, and credit Brad Daly at the top of your screen. He beats John Schmang. That forces Jordan Johnson into the pocket. and allows him, Hayden Vick, to make that big play and force a punt. So Montana State's defense answers the call. We've seen 2 blocked kicks here today and a big punt return for a touchdown by the man ready to return it. There he is, Sean Johnson.
Johnson bobbling it. Canangata was there, but Johnson covered. We had quite a few interesting plays, to say the least, on special teams. The question now for Montana State is, can one of the all-time greats in school history, Denarius McGee, rise to the occasion? Big Sky Football on Root Sports is presented by Ford. We are local. 12:26 left in the fourth quarter. Hey, here's one way to arrive at Bobcat Stadium. This is video courtesy of Stu Lang. Stu is a member of the 406 Gravity team. 3 parachutists came into Bobcat Stadium before the game, and that is some awesome footage. We want to thank Stu Lang for sharing it with us and sharing it with you. McGee on first down. Out to the 20. Brock Coyle with a big hit on Chad Newell, the freshman backup running back out of Billings.
Yeah, this is Brock Coyle dreams about hits like this, where you get a running back turning back to the inside. John Canangata on one side, Brock Coyle on another. It's really not a good choice.
Brock Coyle, the senior from right here in Bozeman at Bozeman High School. McGee with that bad right knee has a first down, still on his feet, and out across the 35-yard line before Wagaman brought it down, and we have some late flags coming in.
Geez, it came in from all over the field. 3 flags thrown towards the pile. Denarius McGee not happy about it.
Yeah, he's obviously hoping to get 15 more yards tacked on.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 55. They made the guard a lane, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's a left tackle, John Weidenauer. And from a Montana State perspective, I mean, this is just unacceptable. You've had such tough times moving the football today, and here he comes right up the back of one of the Grizzlies with his quarterback already down, and you don't need that. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. Nothing to be gained from that play. And first down and 10, but you lose some yardage. McGee on the read option. Oh, he got hit hard.
We just get the feeling here early in the fourth quarter that Denarius McGee, win or lose, he wants the ball in his hands.
That was Brock Coyle again. He bounced up from that hit. In fact, they smiled at each other and kind of acknowledged each other after that big hit. Second down and 3. That was the 9th tackle in this game for Brock Coyle. Cody Kirk, one of his better runs of the day, maybe his best, in fact, as he picks up a first down.
Cody Kirk out of Frenchtown, just outside of Missoula. His best run of the day, as you see the line pulling out in front, an extra tight end. Newell pulling out on that. Big power run game.
Before that run, his best carry was for 8 yards, that for 10. First down for the Bobcats. Looking for a touchdown to tie this game. Kirk again! Fumbles the football. Looks like it's covered by Canangata. And it is recovered by Montana. And we'll have to confirm if that was J.P. Canangata who got to it. That is really tough for this Bobcats offense. There he is, number 52, J.P. Canangata, and you see the frustration of Cody Kirk. They finally had something going offensively.
Yeah, 2 straight big runs where Cody Kirk, you see, doesn't have that normal acceleration. And Brock Coyle looks like, or is that?
That was Coyle who knocked it free. Right there on the tackle, and there's Canangata flying in.
Another huge turnover forced by that Montana defense. First from Denarius McGee in the first half, and now in the early moments of the fourth quarter against Cody Kirk.
Well, trickery here. Johnson going deep. Van well covered. Bumped before he got there, and that'll be pass interference. Look like that'll go against Rob Marshall. Did not look back for the football and made contact.
And he read it well. I mean, I credit Montana State for being in position and not getting caught off guard.
Interference. Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Yeah, it's that safety spot. Trayvon Van's got some wheels, and he almost didn't believe that he could stick with him. I mean, he read it well, knew where he needed to be, but then you got to look and lean, right? You got to look and lean for that football, and Rob Marshall did not. The fact that that ball was a little bit underthrown really brought Trayvon Van back into Marshall and forced that penalty.
By the way, that last takeaway by Cannon got on the Kirk fumble. Turnover margin this season for the Montana Grizzlies, plus 18. And that is number 1 in the Big Sky Conference.
Yeah, and that's a mindset, Tom. That's working on it in practice, telling yourself you're going to get turnovers, ripping at the football. You're never out of the play. Ty Gregorak and company, you can tell that's an emphasis. Every team wants turnovers, but how much do you emphasize it day in and day out?
No gain on that last carry by Canada. Johnson, a lot of time. Has Jones, who has a first down, and out at the 20-yard line. 17-yard pickup.
Well, Ellis Henderson played a big role in this one on the outside. Ran his man off, and Jamal Jones, a great route, just an out route, an easy throw for Jordan Johnson. But if Ellis Henderson doesn't do his job by running the corner off, that open space isn't there.
I'll tell you what, if this Montana State defense doesn't deny the end zone to Montana, they bring to an end their 2013 season with no opportunity to get in the playoffs. Johnson wide open. Touchdown, Montana. Clay Pearson. 20-yard touchdown pass by Jordan Johnson. His 28th TD throw this season. For Pearson, his 5th touchdown catch.
Well, well-designed play as Pearson from that left side of the field just kind of gets lost. The play action pass, you little half roll to the right where all the receivers, all the guys that have been catching the ball are. You forget about number 46. He's all alone for the touchdown.
Worst with the extra point. A 21-7 lead. The Grizzlies over the Bobcats here in Bozeman. As Clay Pearson calls in the TD from Johnson. Clay Pearson, senior out of Twin Bridges, Montana. Twin Bridges High School with his 5th touchdown reception of the season, and it puts Montana in front of Montana State 27-7. Chris Leiter about to kick off, and my guess is he wants to kick it any place that Sean Johnson can't get to. And he sends it over to David Dash. And nowhere to go for Dash, brought down around the 8-yard line. Outstanding kick coverage by the Grizzlies. Let's take a look at that scoring play, Jason.
Yeah, you got Pearson right here as the right tight end. He's just going to kind of get lost in the shuffle. And all the play action right here happens, and the lies are in the backfield. They're looking over here, and Clay Pearson is wide open at the end of this play.
Well, he was just left. Doesn't get much easier than that.
Get your eyes in the backfield, you don't read your keys, and bad things are going to happen.
Well, Denarius McGee down 2 touchdowns, starting a drive at his 8-yard line. The handoff to Kirk, who fumbled on the last Montana State possession, and that led to that scoring drive. 3 plays, 52 yards, a minute 25, capped off by the touchdown pass to Pearson.
He's had a very efficient day, Tom. 210 yards through the air. That completion percentage, though, that keeps the chains moving in that very big touchdown.
Second down and 8. Out of time for McGee. Has Lee Perkins, one of his tight ends, out to the 25. First down.
Really good job by McGee, surveying the entire field, being patient.
It's number 1.
Automatic first down on the defensive hold.
14-yard gain to Perkins. How about tempo for this offense right now? Do they need to move it along a little quicker with 8 minutes to go and down by 14?
Well, no question. And I think the more success you have, the more you got to get up to the line of scrimmage and continue that momentum.
4-man rush. And McGee forced out at the 30-yard line.
Well, a flag comes in from referee Jim Crowley at the end.
Late hit by Wagenman, possibly, number 58.
Well, it almost looks like they pulled him down like a horse collar at the end.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 58. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Boy, Mick Delaney is all over the officials right now.
He is fired up. That is not a horse collar. Well, I don't know
at the end there. Yeah.
Is that enough?
Well, I mean, if you're asking a referee to look at it in full speed and you see his hand end up where it did, you're going to throw that flag. Mick Delaney kept his team in a neighboring city last night, saying, well, we're not going to give this city our money.
Now they're trying to give this city a loss. McGee, right before he was hit, Bleskin, his biggest play today. Down to the Montana 30-yard line. Gain of 25 yards.
Quick play action keeps the linebackers frozen and creates that space behind them. Jordy Tripp not able to get deep enough.
Bubble out to Ellis. Nowhere to go. Well defended that time. Derek Crittenden was out there. Snuffed it out. Jordan Tripp, Anthony Goodwin.
Well, and Goodwin really helped that play. Didn't allow John Ellis to get going. Tanner Roderick's got one-on-one blocking responsibilities, and Goodwin just out-muscled him.
Second down and 10. 2 receivers to each side for that man, Denarius McGee. And Ellis got the flag he wanted. Came from about 30 yards. It'll be a call that'll go against Nate Harris.
Yeah, that's a good call. I was surprised they didn't get a flag earlier. Got there early.
Pass interference. Defense number 11. Spot foul, automatic. First down.
Nate Harris, a sophomore out of Chino, California, along with Jordan Tripp and Bull Tully, lead the Montana defense in interceptions this season. All have 3. 6:56 left in the fourth quarter. McGee on first down. Dumps it off. Johnson with a lot of room to work with. Sean Johnson, maybe the only thing he didn't do well was head to the sideline. You still want to preserve as much of the clock as you can with 6:45 left to play. He did pick up the first down. That did stop the clock to move the chains. But they need to be conscious of where those sidelines are.
You're right, Tom. The game within the game, so important. You get down to the closing moments.
First and goal from the 7. McGee on the keeper. Inside the 5, still on the feet. The determination of Denarius McGee taking him down near the 1-yard line.
Boy, his will to win, and just he knows he's got to will his team through this struggle right now. He's been beaten, battered, he's hurt. Carries about 3 Montana Grizzly defenders down to the 1-yard line.
Sean Johnson behind McGee. Johnson with the ball. Johnson with a touchdown, Montana State. Second touchdown today for Sean Johnson, who put the Bobcats on the board with the 82-yard punt return. Much shorter bit of work for Johnson this time. And it's a one-score game now with 6:02 left to play. Rory Perez on for the extra point. Sixth rushing touchdown this season for Sean Johnson, and it's game on again here in Bozeman. The Grizzlies up by 7, 21-14.
Save big.
Big Sky Football on Root Sports is brought to you by Avitas Group, a family of business solutions. By Rocky Mountain Hospice, the largest hospice provider of choice in Montana. And by BNSF Railway, the engine that connects us. Well, when Montana State had to have a touchdown drive, they went 92 yards in 9 plays. The senior Denarius McGee leading the way as Sean Johnson capped it off with a short touchdown run. 6:02 left to play here at Bobcat Stadium in front of a record stadium crowd of 21,527. The 113th Brawl of the Wild. This is a must-win game if Montana State is going to have a chance for the postseason. They show onside kick in terms of formation, but instead go deep. Henderson will down it. Ball coming out to the 25 as we connect with Jen Mueller.
Senator Max Back is joining us now. He's getting ready for his post-game duties, and that is to present the trophy to the winning team. Now, he says that he is neither Montana nor Montana State heavy, but you're not up for re-election. You can finally tell us the truth.
I'm having a hell of a good time. This is a great tradition. No better tradition than the Cats-Grizz game.
And considering how big this is in the state, how much time do you spend talking about it with the constituents?
Well, as you get close, you know, compare the quarterbacks and the records of what people are talking about it. I would not miss this for anything. It's teamwork. The team that wins is coupled in the team that has the most teamwork. It takes teamwork to win games.
Also the team that will be getting the trophy presented by the Senator.
Jen, Senator, thank you very much. First down play for Montana. Short gain by Trayvon Van. Both teams with their full complement of 3 timeouts. Critical for this Bobcats defense to get the ball back for the offense with some time to work with.
Yeah, it really is. And Montana and Montana State both have been very stingy on third downs defensively. This is going to be a big play here for the Grizz to see if they can get in a reasonable yardage for a conversion.
Second down and 6. Jones the motion man. Takes the draw. Johnson, lots of time and well over his intended receiver, Jamal Jones. So 3rd and 6 coming up, and maybe the biggest defensive play of this game for the Bobcats.
Yeah, kind of a lazy route that time by Jamal Jones. Just kind of jogged out there and then accelerated out of his cut, but an easy cover for Sean Gords, and forces a 3rd and long with the crowd getting behind their Bobcats.
Montana 5 of 15 on third down conversions. They desperately need to make that 5 of 16. Blitz coming. Johnson unloading. Has the catch out to Jones. Terrific throwing catch. Jordan Johnson to Jamal Jones. Big gain into Montana State territory.
They like that matchup against Sean Gords. They're going to play man-to-man. Good blocking at the point of attack. A little shove by Jamal Jones to create some space. And a heck of a catch in traffic.
Gords in the neighborhood again, but just did not make the play when he needed to. Look at the day for Jamal Jones. 6 catches, 114 yards. And off to Trayvon Van. He will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage with his forward progress.
Credit Montana State for reacting well that time. Same formation and run play that both Montana rushing touchdowns came on. Lots of field to cover. They managed to win the line of scrimmage battle in 4 second long.
Clock rolling. We're approaching the 4-minute mark here in Bozeman. 4 minutes that may determine whether Montana State has any football to play after today. Johnson getting some pressure, has a reception. It's number 36, Gavin Hagfor's backup fullback, Brad Daly, with a tackle.
Yeah, and you got to figure that this is the 3rd down. Montana State's got to stop here. They're going to have to start burning timeouts.
3:30.
Montana not in any hurry to run a play. They'll run this play clock down as much as they can.
2 receivers to the left. Jones out to the right. On 3rd down. Jones has the catch. And this
is going to be close, Tom.
It's going to be close.
Now they're going to move the chains. 1st down. With great hands here by Jamal Jones. Getting that foot down. Montana State knowing that they've got 3 timeouts left. They're preserving them until 2nd and 3rd down. And then trying to leave 1 for the offense.
1st down and 10. Can't allow much yardage. You're going to get into field goal range for Ben Worst. That could seal it as well. Canada looking to end it here, but finally Gorge getting to him inside the 20, but not before Jordan Canada. It's a nice gain and a 1st down for the Grizzlies.
Well, they've defended the run very well for the most part of this game, but at the most crucial time, the tough thing about a zone run scheme is you can over pursue. It's going to create cutback lanes. Montana State a little aggressive at the point of attack, and that allowed a cutback, a big run, and another 1st down.
12-yard gain for Jordan Canada. Has carried the ball 17 times for 52 yards and a touchdown. You would think the plan now is just keep it on the ground. Here's Canada again. Jordan Canada. Now he goes out of bounds, and you know, you'd rather give up those 2 yards and just go down in bounds.
Yep, you're right, Tom. I think the pursuit and just the instinct to keep running led him out of bounds. Looked like he was very aware of it initially, but as he kept running, that sideline got closer and he couldn't stop.
So after carrying the ball for 12 yards, Canada follows it up with 11 more. 1st down and goal for Montana. Canada. Jordan Canada, touchdown, Montana.
Celebration flag comes down afterwards, but they're happy to take those yards as they extend their lead out to 2 touchdowns.
Jordan Canada finding the end zone for the 2nd time today.
After the score, dead ball, unsportsmanlike celebration. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
In these last few plays, a lot of missed tackles for Montana State. Guys are in position to make plays, but just nobody making them. And Montana State has reason to celebrate, even with the flag, as they now push the lead back out to 14.
Let's send it to the studio as we check in with Angie Minting.
Guys, coming up next, we're going to take you to Cheney for Game 2 of our doubleheader between Portland State and Eastern Washington. There's Vernon Adams warming up at the Inferno. We're going to get you to that game once our coverage in Bozeman is finished. Well, looking like an interesting finish there. Guys, back to you.
Angie, thanks so much. Jordan Canada has had an exceptional season. You look what he's done today. 19 carries, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns on the season with the 2 scores today. 16 rushing touchdowns for the junior out of Duarte, California. And last drive, 75 yards in 9 plays, 4 minutes and 13 seconds. And that touchdown may have delivered the 113th Brawl of the Wild to the Montana Grizzlies.
When you think of all that Montana went through last year with the struggled season, no playoffs, they lose a game early to NAU. Boy, they played some close games down the stretch. This is a team that's really earned that number 5 ranking, earned its chance to go to the playoffs, and definitely, Tom, I think earned it here today in Bozeman.
Season started with a victory over visiting Appalachian State, 30-6. The only bumps in the road, loss at Northern Arizona, 34-16, and then the only other loss, 42-37 to an outstanding Eastern Washington team. That game played at Washington Grizzly Stadium. John Ellis. Ellis with some room, tripped up at midfield. 1:43 left to play in the game. Let's get you an update on another very important game in the Big Sky today on the final day of conference play. Southern Utah with a 10-3 lead over Northern Arizona. You would think if that holds, they're going to be getting their ticket punched into the FCS playoffs.
Oh, and that's
about
a defense,
Southern Utah.
Yeah, that's a defense playing so well right now. And there were some that thought that if Montana State were to have won this game and Southern Utah wins, that Montana State still wouldn't get that playoff berth.
First and 10 from the 50. And Denarius McGee is going to go down, or at least give half a sack to Zach Wagaman and another half to Tyrone Holmes, as we are looking at what is likely the final 1 minute and 32 seconds of a tremendous career here in Bozeman, put together by Denarius McGee.
Well, just a 3-man pass rush. Montana State unable to keep Wagaman and Tyrone Holmes out. A lot of respect for Denarius McGee on the Montana side of the football. You see them not trying to throw him to the ground. Boy, that tells the story there, right?
Yeah, look at that.
134 yards in their first 11 drives. They go darn near the length of the field in the last one to score a touchdown, but it's a heck of a defensive effort by the Grizzlies, and really a Montana State team that has been literally and figuratively limping all season long. And take a look at Zach Wagaman. There's no limping there. They're looking forward to the Great
Divide. Back on the bus, the Great Divide Trophy, and take it back to Missoula. Second down and 19. McGee to Bleskin. 2 terrific seniors connecting, possibly for the final time in their careers. You can't overstate. This is Rob Ash's feeling regarding number 9, Denarius McGee. Coach Ash actually believes that enrollment in this university is up in large part due to McGee and what he has meant for this program as he gets the completion to Roderick, and also a lot of just positive things happening within the athletic department. Rob Ash tips his cap to number 9.
Well, and the other thing, Tom, is they call another timeout. Football is a welcome mat to any university, and Denarius McGee has been the face of that football program for 4 straight years now.
Look at the most recent players to join the 10,000, 1,000 club. How's that for a list of names? McCoy, Kaepernick, RG3, guy we see a lot in the Seattle area, Russell Wilson, and Denarius McGee, the most recent to join that 10,000, 1,000 club. That really speaks to what he has done over his 4 seasons for this program. The senior out of Euless, Texas. John Ellis, another member of the offense, playing on what is likely his final drive here. Cody Kirk, number 25, not in the game right now. Another senior on offense, and number 86, Tanner Bleskin. McGee, heat coming from behind. Staying alive and getting out of bounds. Stopped the clock as he was pursued by Jordan Tripp. You want to talk about some guys who have done battle over the last few years. Head-to-head, Jordan Tripp, number 37, and Denarius.
And two guys, as much as in the heat as this rivalry is, that really get along well. Run into each other during summer functions out at Flathead Lake. And
saw the big state competition.
Oh, yeah. Everything's a competition with those two.
1st and 10. McGee looking for flat cutter, nearly picked off by Brock Coyle, but he collided with Jordan Tripp, and Jordan shaken up.
Oh, yeah, that huge collision. Right now, Jordan Tripp is woozy at best. Gets up under his own power. Unbelievable. Looked like he was out for a second.
I don't know. You got the playoffs right around the corner. You really have this game, for the most part, under control. 107 up by 14.
Well, if you get a touchdown here, though, at Montana State, you got an onside kick and some time left.
McGee dumps it off to Johnson. Trying everything he can to make this into a big play, but good job of containment by that Grizzlies defense. Now looks like Sean Johnson's shaken up. Brawl of the Wild is the 4th oldest FCS rivalry west of the Mississippi, one that's been filled with memorable moments for sure, but for the most dramatic and most unforgettable, you can't top the finish in 1997 in Bozeman. Eric Kinnon's touchdown run with 22 seconds left gave the Bobcats the lead and appeared to be the dagger for Montana, but a failed 2-point conversion gave Montana hope, and the Grizzlies took advantage. Quarterback Brian Ayotte found Justin Olson over the middle, 46 yards down the field to put the ball on the Bobcats' 19, setting up a 37-yard try for Chris Hepner's kick. It was true as time expired, and Montana won it 27-25. McGee on 3rd down. Back of the end zone looking for Roderick. 4th down coming up.
Well, great pass rush from just 3 guys from Montana, and it's so hard to find a crease if you've got 8 defenders in the defensive backfield. You almost have to throw one on time up the seam on a laser and just hope that you can fit it through a keyhole.
48 seconds left, 4th down.
JP Kanangata comes off in favor of Josh Denard, another defensive back.
This Montana defense has been outstanding all day, trying to come up with another play to send this Bobcats offense off the field, and that will do it on 4th down. Intended receiver was Tanner Bleskin, pleading for a flag.
Yeah, ball was thrown well outside.
Denarius McGee and that Bobcats offense walking off the field for the final time in their Bobcat career, at least in McGee's case. Kirk, Ellis, Bleskin, they're done. And for the guys who will come back, and only 11 seniors on this roster, I'm sure the work may begin as early as Monday, setting their sights on 2014 for the Montana Grizzlies. Entering this game as the nation's 5th-rated team, they will certainly be looking for a very favorable seeding when the field of 24 teams is announced for the FCS playoffs. Victory formation for Jordan Johnson and company. Jordan with an outstanding game today, a terrific second half. You see the joy with Mick Delaney, a loser in this game last season, a rare losing season for Montana in 2012. Today he can celebrate and get ready to prepare a game plan for the first time as a head coach heading into a postseason contest. Back to Jordan Johnson, 23 of 35, 250 yards and a touchdown. And that does it. The 113th Brawl of the Wild going to the Montana Grizzlies as they win in Bozeman. You heard. That was a great exchange. Some of the big guys, some of those offensive linemen for Montana said, we'll carry that trophy. And someone in charge of the trophy saying, no, you ain't. They're eventually going to get their hands on it. As you look at Denarius McGee, certainly no way he thought his career would have ended with 3 consecutive losses, with the final 2 coming here at Bobcat Stadium. Last week to Southern Utah, and this week to the arch rival, the Montana Grizzlies. As we send it down to Jen Mueller, who's with the other starting quarterback today. He's certainly happy, Jordan Johnson.
Well, he's happy now that it's over, but Jordan, the yards were tough to come by in the first half. What was kind of that mood until you could get the drive going and score the touchdown?
Well, in the first half, we really just shot ourselves in the foot the entire half with penalties, fumbling the ball. And then finally, we just kind of got in a rhythm and just didn't beat ourselves. And, we ended up with 28 points.
How did you make the big 3rd down conversion, the last scoring drive there, 3rd and long, and you convert on the sideline?
Had to have it. I mean, in this big of a game, you're going to have to make a play at some point. And, luckily enough for me, I have Jamal out on the sideline. He made a great catch, and, we came away with the victory.
It has been a long time since you guys have had an off week. Describe just what the team feels like right now, health-wise and just season-wise.
We're feeling good, We'll see tomorrow morning where we are in the playoffs, and, whether or not we have a bye next week, we'll be ready to go.
Last question. You did not play in this game last year. Does it mean a little bit more to you now?
It's really hard to explain. I mean, I can't even find the words, but to come here and beat this team, unbelievable.
I don't know if there are words right now, Tom. Perhaps just the cheering of the Grizzly fans as we let Jordan go and join them.
Jen, thanks so much. Congratulations to Jordan Johnson. And they finally got a hold of that great dividing trophy. They were not going to be denied very long. As we take a look at our 4-game summary, and what can you say about number 10 for Montana today? Outstanding, especially in the second half.
Well, he protected the football. He completed passes when they counted. And while 3rd down conversions were tough, Jordan Johnson continued to keep plays alive, found the right guys at the right time, and he's the reason this offense goes. This is a team that doesn't always start fast, but boy, they're playing their best ball as the game finishes out, and Jordan Johnson's a big reason.
Jason, how about this? In the first half, Jordan Johnson, 9 of 14, 44 yards. In the second half, he throws for 206 yards, finishing 23 of 35. With 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Finishes the regular season throwing just 4 picks. That is a guy whose decision-making has been so crucial for this team this season. Takes what's there, doesn't force it.
Yeah, they don't go downfield when they don't have to, but I think this is an offense that does a nice job by formation, finding matchups, great balance of run and pass. And as you look into the playoffs, and as you look into the cold weather games, some of the things that can take place, I think it's a team that's built to play in that kind of situation.
Send it down to the field where Jen is with a Grizzly who actually calls Bozeman home. Jen?
And I think he's got admirers and supporters everywhere here. Brock, they just pointed out that while you're a Grizzly, you are from here to do this in your home city with your team. What does it mean to you?
It means everything in my football life. I mean, I've worked so hard, and this team has worked so hard. We've been through so much. I can't be more proud of the guys. I mean, to finish this season, 10 wins. I mean, we got that trophy, man. I'm lost for words right now.
Defensively, did you feel the pressure early on when yards were tough to come by on offense?
No, not at all. We were shutting them down the whole first half. We were shutting them down all game. We had no urgency. We just want to go out there, play our game, play our defense. I couldn't be more proud of my defense, man. We played so well.
And the way that you impacted Denarius, did you see it wearing on him and the Bobcats in the game?
Yeah, I think so. I think our front, our D-line just overwhelmed them. I mean, I feel we have the best defensive line in the nation. And I'm so proud of the guys, and I think we got to them, and we came out on top.
You did, and there are some folks waiting to congratulate you. Go enjoy that with them, Brock.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jen, thanks so much. Congratulations to Brock Coyle as you take a look at Denarius McGee walking out of Bobcat Stadium for the final time in that number 9 uniform. Great career for him here in Bozeman. We have more coverage coming your way After the 113th, Brawl of the Wild goes to the Montana Grizzlies.
First, we introduce.
Welcome back, everybody. Once again, Montana wins the 113th Brawl of the Wild. 28-14 is the final score. Angie Mentink here with you, and game 2 of our doubleheader features Portland State and third-ranked Eastern Washington. The Eagles have already qualified for the playoffs, but a win can help their seeding and earn them a first-round bye. We are going to be headed back to Bozeman in just a little bit, but right now we want to go to Cheney and check in with Rich Burke and also Rob Akey, who will call today's game. Guys?
All right, Ange, I hope it's warm there in the studio. It was bitter cold in Bozeman. It is bitter cold here in Cheney. But I tell you what, Coach, if your heart's not pumping down there on the sideline, there's something wrong. That's going to keep people warm. You've coached in these big rivalry games. It's the Dam Cup between PSU and Eastern Washington. What's it like to be on the sidelines for one of these games?
Well, that's one of the highlights of the year. We're playing in the rival games. That's something everybody looks forward to. These kids have grown up with each other. They've been recruited around each other. These staffs have worked against each other. They're going to be wound up. They're going to be warm down there today.
Yeah, and we are going to see 2 outstanding offenses today. Both teams have quarterbacks that had excellent freshman seasons. Last year, Kieran McDonough of Portland State, Vernon Adams of Eastern Washington. McDonough's fallen off this year because he was hurt. His confidence waned. Vernon Adams, meanwhile, he has taken it up another level. He may well be the Walter Payton Award winner as the Player of the Year for FCS. This guy is a stud.
He's the real deal, and he's got a great chance to win that award. And we're going to see 2 great quarterbacks getting after it today. And if this thing's anything like last year's game between these 2, we're going to have a shootout. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, and Kieran McDonough, meanwhile, when he's healthy, when he's on, he can be good as well. Ange, Taylor, we're going to see the number 3 and number 4 offenses in the nation today. If you like offense, this one's for you.
I do like offense. No pressure, guys, but you guys have a lot to live up to because Montana State, pretty good. Again, we'll be heading back to Cheney in just a little bit and also to Bozeman. But first, I have to ask you about this matchup because, this is an interesting one. On paper, you think Eastern Washington, they've got to get this done, particularly with the kind of season they have going on. But there's no gimmies.
No, anytime you get into these type of games, it's a fun matchup to watch. Eastern has so much on the line. Going undefeated for the first time in Big Sky history in their experience would be huge for them. Portland State has so much on the line. They're not a playoff team, but this is a young team. They're trying to build for the future next year, the year after. That's what they're looking to make a run in the Big Sky and beyond. So both teams playing for a lot today. Going to rely heavily on both quarterbacks, young guys. Kieran McDonough, as they mentioned, his confidence has been a little bit shaky. Got benched some. He's come back, but I think he's responded well, and I think he's going to end up playing very well today.
And again, like Rich said, we do like offense. What was surprising in Bozeman, though, today was the defensive struggle, particularly in the first half. All right, let's get you back to Bozeman for more on the Brawl of the Wild and recheck in with Tom Glasgow and Jason Stiles. Guys?
Well, Angie, thanks so much. It was a defensive struggle in the first half anyway. We got to intermission with the game tied at 7, but tip your cap to the Montana Grizzlies because they really owned the second half today.
They did. They played a full 4 quarters of football. You know these kind of games are going to be physical. Both teams are going to have some semblance of success, but as the game settled in and that run game from Montana kicked in, it opened up the play action, and their playmakers, the guys that have got it done down the stretch for them all year long, showed up very big here on the road. Brawl of the Wild, and Montana now looks to potentially have a bye in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, they desperately wanted to get that done. They'll find out in short order if that's the case. Let's get you up to date on the Big Sky standings. As things stand right now in the wake of the results so far, Eastern Washington looking to run the table in conference play at 8-0 with the game coming up against Portland State. Northern Arizona at 6-1. Montana finishes 6-2, and Southern Utah trailing Northern Arizona 13-10 with 5.5 minutes left to play in that game. So Southern Utah may need a comeback in that contest to punch its ticket into the postseason. Let's send it down to the field and connect with the guy who really made some big plays today for the Grizz, Jen Mueller, with running back Jordan Canada.
All right, I saw you guys around the trophy. There was kissing, there was hugging of the trophy, we should point out. Is that what you do when the trophy comes back into your possession?
Man, after a year of not having it in our tunnel, this want to hug it, want to lay with it, want to go to sleep with it, want to everything you can imagine right then. So yeah, we definitely touch it before every practice, so we're glad to have it back home.
You know, I snuck a peek down the sideline as the game was ending, and I saw your coach, Mick Delaney, jumping up and down. Does he do that often? Have I missed that before?
If the event's big enough, he gets crazy. He gets real crazy. So, I mean, I think he feeds a lot off of our energy too. Guys are pumping up, and when we win a game like this, it's just that important. He's going to do it all.
Oh, well, then I probably should have looked at him right after you scored the touchdown that really salted it away. You were looking for the end zone there.
Yeah, we had to find it there. I mean, we would have been happy to run the clock out, but the line blocked it up good, and we got some downfield blocks for our receiver, so put it in the end zone.
You got some crazy fans celebrating around you. How will you celebrate this one?
You know, I'm going to go home, order some Papa John's pizza, watch a movie probably, be a good kid, maybe do some homework. But, I mean, right now we're just living it up with the teammates and going to celebrate in the locker room and on the way home. So, yeah.
I'll buy the relaxing, guys. I'm not buying the I'm doing homework tonight after this big win.
I tried to get you. You caught me. You caught me.
Right, good enough. Apparently, Jordan making a run at an endorsement deal as well. Well done, Jordan Canada, both on the field and in the post-game interview as he helps Montana to a 28-14 win against Montana State. So it's kind of give you the framework of the 2013 FCS playoffs. Now, the field expanding this year, 20 to 24, 11 automatic bids in the Big Sky. Eastern Washington has already wrapped that up. 13 at-large bids. Montana will certainly secure one of those. The top 8 seeds receive a first-round bye. And again, that's motivation today for Eastern Washington against Portland State. Montana hoping to get a bye as well. And it will all be crystal clear as of tomorrow morning when the announcements begin at 9:30 Mountain Time. The field will be set. The question is, will Montana get a bye? My question to you is, regardless whether it's a bye or not, what level of football do you feel like this club is playing right now heading into the postseason, whether they've got to go right out of the gate or they get a little bit of a break?
Well, I think the two things that really stick out for me right now are the way Montana's defense is playing. They're really taking care of business up front, allowing their defensive backfield to play free and not have to cover forever. But then they're also playing well in the closing moments of football games. When you have to play close games, figure out a way to win down the stretch. They did it against South Dakota. They did it against Cal Poly. They had a tough struggle here today for most of this game, and that's how you win playoff football games. It's certainly going to get tougher. Everybody in that field is going to be solid, but so many times the toughest part is just getting out of the Big Sky Conference, and it looks like Montana is going to do that.
Yeah, well, again, it'll be interesting to see whether they go in short order or get that break. They certainly feel like they deserve. Well, it was a great afternoon here in Bozeman. Terrific weather, pomp, and circumstance. In the end, the nation's 5th-rated team, the Montana Grizzlies, knocking off Montana State 28-14. For Jen Mueller, Jason Stiles, and our entire Root Sports crew, for the final time for us, I'm Tom Glasgow. Thanks for joining us for Big Sky Football on Root Sports. Stay tuned. We're going to send you to Cheney for Eastern Washington against Portland State. Have a great afternoon, everyone.